The steel frame of an abandoned factory set against the dim twilight. A voice echoes in the emptiness. Find them. The leader, holding a gun, roars. Those bastards couldn't have run far. The blonde gunman behind him adds, once you find them. Kill on sight. MCO kneels on the ground. He's holding the blood-covered CO Dokium. Tears stream down MCO's blood-stained cheeks. He cups CO Dokium's face. What's the point if I'm the only one who survives? A faint smile plays on CO Dokium's lips. The color of blood reflects in his crimson eyes. Then, shall we die together? MCO fleetsis. What? CO Dokium's body falls backward. He grabs MCO's collar, pulling him closer. Honestly, I can't stand it. I absolutely can't stand the thought of you being with another man. MCO's bloodstained hand grips his as he responds in a low voice. All right. He looks directly into Dokium's eyes. Let's do it together, Dokium. Dokium gasps. Are you crazy? He forcefully pushes MCO away. Don't say such foolish things. Run. Dokium's pupils suddenly contract. The barrel of a gun is aimed at him. He spreads his arms to shield MCO. MCO's scream shatters the silence. A gunshot explodes in the empty factory. MCO whispers, trembling, please. Dokium's life fades rapidly. Bloody foam bubbles from his lips. At least, you live. He stops breathing completely. MCO lets out a desperate cry. Dokium, how could you do this? An option appears on the game screen. Follow him in death or avenge him. Bekyahi stares at the screen, his mouth slightly agape. This is practically a death sentence. He lets out a deep sigh. Another bad ending route. He snaps back to reality, his gaze falling on a corner of the screen. How long have I been playing? On the computer screen is the game's title, a restricted dating simulation game, Mafia Love. The reason it's restricted isn't because of erotic content, but because of its extreme cruelty and tragedy. It said that no one has ever seen the good ending, which only fueled his competitive spirit. He closes the laptop. A bad ending. I've seen it dozens of times. Am I addicted? Is it really okay to keep going like this? He picks up his phone and opens a game for him. A post catches his eye. Total playtime, 40 hours. CO Dokium death. MCO freezes to death. The comments below scroll past. 40 hours? I rage quit on the first day. I heard every route is a bad ending. Bekyahi lets out a long sigh. He rests his chin on his hand, his gaze lost. I don't know either. He opens his laptop. But before I give up, I have to see the ending. In the game, MCO's cheeks are splattered with blood. He raises a pistol to his temple. Dokium, this is my love for you. A gunshot. Crimson text appears. Bad ending. Bekyahi clutches his forehead. How many times are you two going to die? The protagonist and the male lead are both the same. Dokium's smiling face flashes on the screen. Are you that obsessed with me? Dating a gangster only leads to death. Everyone knows that. The male lead of the game Mafia Love is the head of a criminal organization, a gangster through and through. Falling in love with two dangerous men means you'll die 9 times out of 10. Bekyahi walks barefoot to his bed. If someone were to ask me why I play such a terrible game, he falls onto the bed. Yeah, why am I even playing? Especially on a special day like today. On the nightstand are instant seaweed soup and a can of beer. His birthday meal, for one. He lies in bed, scrolling through his phone. His friends' feeds keep refreshing. First family trip. A life full of happiness. Bekyahi suddenly sits up. He grabs a beer can and takes a huge gulp. The bitter liquid slides down his throat. He makes an ugly face. What's so great about a birthday? My life has never been anything special anyway. I'm Fine. Really? Bekyahi returns to his computer. The screen glows faintly. The clock ticks over to 3:38 a.m. Still so far from a new ending. He slumps onto the desk. Why did it have to be today? I want to experience that kind of reckless love just once too. The screen suddenly goes black. Pixelated text lights up, line by line. Loading. Bekyahi slowly opens his eyes. CO Dokium. But why? Why can I see CO Dokium's eyelashes? The outline of the eyelashes is so clear, it's almost real. The surroundings are noisy. Bekyahi's consciousness snaps into focus. He lifts his head from a school desk. Before him is a classroom. He looks at his own hands. This isn't a dream. These are my hands. He touches the name tag on his school uniform. Bekyahi, it's me, all right. But why am I wearing a school uniform? He snatches a mirror. In it is a young and handsome face. Hey, I'm pretty good looking. Shalt, denial, anger. After going through the typical stages of transmigration confusion, he finally accepts the fact. He's transmigrated into the game Mafia Love. He feels a gaze from the side. Bekyahi stiffens. He turns his head rigidly. It's CO Dokium. He's staring at my name tag. A line of pixelated text appears before Baek Yahi's eyes. Welcome. System windows pop up one after another. Loading complete. Baek Yahi gasps. A window. What the hell is this? A gangster is interested in me. This is not a good thing. The teacher walks in a classroom. All right, sit down. Let's start the class meeting. A female student complains, Teacher, why are you so late? The other classes have already been dismissed. Baek Yahi looks desperate. Don't tell me the gangster male lead has his eyes on me. A map unfolds in his vision. Current location, Hope High School. Baek Yahi walks down the street. Whatever. In the end, this is just a game. He walks alone on an unfamiliar street, wearing his school uniform and a backpack. A search in the school's computer lab yields nothing. In this world, the gay mafia love doesn't exist. The only thing I can rely on is this status window. Information appears before his eyes. Name, Baek Yahi. Goal, survive the bad ending. Current status, alone. He stops in his tracks. Even after transmigrating, I'm still all alone. He bites his lip. If I'd known, I would have become the female lead. At least my lifespan would have been shorter. Dokium stands behind him. He leans in close, his breath brushing against his ear. This isn't the way home. Baek Yahi spins around abruptly. Who's there? Dokium asks, but why are you going this way? A system notification sound rings out. An idol of love window pops up before Baek Yahi. Successfully guided Dokium home. Affinity plus 100. Baek Yahi is completely petrified. Dokium. He turns and walks away. Baek Yahi watches his back. I thought he'd be angry. He's leaving just like that. A map unfolds in his vision. Two routes overlap. Our way home is the same. Same class, same desk, and now the same way home. Is this what they call fate? I've hit the jackpot. The two of them stop in front of a mansion. Baek Yahi turns to the side. We've arrived. He looks up at the mansion. This is the house I'm going to live in. It's huge and beautiful. A group of men in black suits rush out of the gate. They bow in unison to Dokium. Young master, welcome home. Baek Yahi freezes on the spot, his mind a complete blank. Dokium turns his head and looks at the stunned Baek Yahi. Aren't you coming in? Baek Yahi remains frozen. What? Me, a side character, is going to live in the male lead's house? Two huge black dogs leap towards Baek Yahi. He's scared out of his wits. The men in black bow in unison, their voices booming. Welcome, Miss Baek Yahi. CO Dokium turns his head, his gaze icy. Stop fooling around. Get in. I heard the gist of it from my father. A warning window pops up before him. The punk CO Dokium is contemplating the side character Baek Yahi's joke. Conclusion, not funny at all. Baek Yahi shivers. He knows Baek Yahi. He follows CO Dokium into the mansion. He stops. The game never mentioned his father. His appearance rate was so low. He freezes on the spot, looking up in shock. Leather shoes step onto the staircase. CO Hien slowly descends the stairs. His gaze lands on Baek Yahi. You're back, Yahi. Baek Yahi hurriedly greets him. Hello. A pink system window pops up. The punk CO Dokium welcomes the side character Baek Yahi to the mansion. CO Dokium's father walks down from upstairs. Baek Yahi looks up at the face. That's right, it's him. The man leans down slightly, scrutinizing Baek Yahi. He speaks slowly. You look just like your mother. A phrase explodes in Baek Yahi's mind. Mafia boss. He covers his cheeks with his hands, asking in a trembling voice, how do you know my mother? His thoughts spiral out of control. He recognized him at a single glance. That top-tier silver fox. If his parents were friends with the mafia, then they were too. The man looks at his chaotic state and speaks coldly. You're as reckless as your father. His gaze is stern. My name is CO Hien. This isn't an ordinary household. You must be overwhelmed suddenly having to live in a place like this. But this was your parents' will, to protect Baek Yahi until he comes of age. Baek Yahi's hands clench his school uniform. His pupils shrink, his blood seeming to freeze. CO Hien looks down at him. As long as you behave yourself, life won't be too hard for you. Baek Yahi is in disbelief. What? What did you say? He runs his hands through his hair, his thoughts a mess. You want me to live here for free, in a place full of gangsters where I could be threatened at any moment? More importantly, he suddenly realizes and shouts in despair. How much is the rent per month? I don't have any money. CO Hien looks bewildered. Rent? A man whispers in his ear. He thinks we're going to charge him rent. CO Hien pinches the bridge of his nose, looking weary. Do I look like someone who would extort a student? Baek Yahi looks at him in disbelief. So it's completely free? He understands it as a kind gesture, free of charge. This is too suspicious. He forces a smile and waves his hands. I'm very grateful, but I think I should go home and think about it. Seo Hyun is expressionless. You have no home to go back to. He announces coldly, I sold it. Baek Yahi's face turns deathly pale. His world collapses. You're joking, right? Seo Dokyum appears at the door. Baek Yahi stiffens upon seeing him, waving his hands frantically. I'll be going now. See you at school tomorrow, Seo Dokyum. He slowly turns back, his movements comical and desperate. This is more absurd than a gangster novel. How can he just sell someone else's house? A pink window. It pops up in his field of vision. Side character. Baek Yahi's profile has been updated. Current status. House sold. Homeless. His legs give out, and he collapses to his knees. What is this? Just because you're the mafia, you can do whatever you want? Seo Dokyum walks closer and extends a hand to him. Hey, are you okay? He grabs Baek Yahi's arm. What's wrong all of a sudden? The despair vanishes from Baek Yahi's face, replaced by a brilliant smile. Survival mode activated. He turns to Seo Dokyum, flashing a victory sign. I've thought it over. I'll stay. Seo Hyun observes his change. You change your mind that quickly? Baek Yahi bows deeply. I will live here respectfully. Seo Hyun scoffs. That's more like it. He orders his son. Take him to the room next door. Seo Dokyum stands still, reply with a blank expression, yes, father. Baek Yahi stands in front of the elevator. He looks up and asks, what floor are we going to? Why are we taking the elevator? Seo Dokyum replies coldly, the second floor. Baek Yahi's expression freezes. The second floor? You take the elevator to go down from the third floor? Seo Dokyum leads him to a door. This is your room. Get changed and come back. He pauses. For your own good, you'd better behave. I really hate being annoyed. He turns to leave. I'm going. Baek Yahi trembles with anger. I think I've completely caught the gangster male lead's attention. He takes a deep breath and grips the cold doorknob. With a click, Baek Yahi pushes the door open and instantly freezes on the spot. A crystal chandelier sparkles. A princess-like bedroom unfolds before his eyes. A luxurious king-size bed, a top-of-the-line computer. His eyes sparkle, his cheeks flushing. Oh my God, he rushes towards a giant teddy bear, burying his face in its soft fur. So cute. He shakes his head abruptly. Snap out of it. This isn't the time. His backpack slides off his shoulder and thuds onto the floor. Now that I'm in the gangster male lead's house. He walks to the desk, placing a hand on the computer. I have to gather all the information I can. My last memory is drinking and playing the game, obsessively trying to conquer the gangster romance route, then falling asleep with a splitting headache. Baek Yahi has a sudden realization. Could it be from that moment? In the dim room, his past self. He was at the computer. I want to experience that kind of love, too. Just because of that thought, I possess this body. So now I'm supposed to date Seo Dokyum? This is too sudden. I wasn't that desperate, but it's a bit strange. There's no character named Baek Yahi in Mafia Love. My appearance is identical to my real self. Even the dry eye condition is the same. Was this character tailor-made for me? Baek Yahi frowns in thought. Then how did my parents get involved with the Seo family? His hand hovers over the keyboard. The game unfolds from Seo's perspective. There's too little information about anyone else. Under a blood-red sun, bodies are strewn everywhere. A lone figure stands. I only know that after his father's death, Seo Dokyum was forced into the criminal underworld. I remember something Seo once said. It was the summer of our second year of high school. Seo Dokyum stood on the balcony, his back to Seo. My father passed away. He turned his head, his expression grim. He was killed by a spy. Just like that, I had no choice but to become the leader of the Aizong Pa. Baek Yahi snaps to attention. Wait, I'm a second-year high school student right now. The timing matches perfectly. This is 1 year before the main story of the game begins. The face of Seo Dokyum's father flashes in his mind. The period that was glossed over as the prologue in the game. He's still alive. If things continue like this, he'll be murdered soon, and Seo Dokyum will be headed for ruin. Baek Yahi's expression darkens. I'm the only one who knows the future. So, can I prevent Seo Dokyum's tragedy? The door is thrown open violently. Baek Yahi flinches. A boy leans against the door frame, his eyes full of contempt. You just got here, and you're already freeloading and glued to the computer. You freeloader. Baek Yahi's cheeks puff out in anger. Who are you calling a freeloader? He then recognizes him. Oh, it's him, the one from the stairs earlier. The boy suddenly lashes out. Who said you could live here? He roars. Stay out of our family's business. Get out. Baek Yahi glares at him. You rude little brat. As if I wanted to come here myself. He shoots up from his chair, confronting the boy fiercely. What's your problem? A hand lands on the boy's shoulder. Co Dokium has appeared at some point. Bekyaihi, why are you still in your school uniform? The boy cries out, brother. Bekyaihi is at a loss for words. This must be Co Dokium's younger brother, Co Dohyun. Co Dohyun turns to his brother to complain. He's being hostile to me. Co Dokium is expressionless. You are too. Get ready. Both of you come downstairs. Bekyaihi looks confused. Ready for what? A long table is laden with a feast. Roasted chicken and cakes are piled high. The chicken skin gleams with a caramelized sheen, and slices of cake reveal soft cream. The air is filled with a tempting sweetness. Bekyaihi's eyes light up. Do you guys always eat this well? Co Hyun sits at the head of the table. He wipes his napkin. Of course not. Today is a special day. Don't just stand there, sit down. Bekyaihi whispers, a special day? Co Dokium pulls out the chair behind Bekyaihi. It's your birthday today, isn't it? Bekyaihi stiffens. They know. Co Dokium presses on the back of his chair. Don't run off. Seat. Co Hyun looks at him. It happens to be the day you arrived. You must be having a hard time. Eat well and pull yourself together. Bekyaihi sits down obediently. Okay. A system window pops up. The gangster male lead, Co Dokium, has detected an abnormal state in the side character, Bekyaihi. Co Dokium's brow furrows slightly. He speaks hesitantly. Are you crying? Dohyun walks in carrying a birthday cake. Bekyaihi sits before the feast, hiding his face with his arm, his shoulders shaking silently. Tears escape and slide down between his fingers, one after another. Bekyaihi devours a mouthful of strawberry cake. This is on a completely different level from convenience store cake. I can't tell if this is the taste of cake or the taste of money. Co Dohyun rests his chin on his hand, watching him in disbelief. Wow, have you been starving for days? The minor villain Co Dokium watches him. The side character's greedy eating reminds him of a small dog guarding its food. A flicker of interest appears in his eyes. Bekyaihi senses the gaze. Are you looking at me like I'm a puppy? Co Hyun speaks up. Let's eat, everyone. Yaihi, you should eat some proper food too. Don't just eat cake. A chorus of thanks echoes around the table. Bekyaihi's cheeks flush slightly. How long has it been since I've eaten with other people? I never thought they'd even celebrate my birthday. Co Hyun puts down his utensils, his expression turning serious. I have something important to announce. Dokium looks up. Please speak. Bekyaihi picks up his water glass. Maybe I should just quietly be a shut-in. Co Hyun's gaze locks onto the two of them. He speaks slowly. Co Dokium and Bekyaihi, once you come of age, you will be engaged next spring. Bekyaihi spits out a mouthful of water. A mist explodes in the air. His eyes are wide with disbelief. Dohyun looks disgusted. That's gross. Bekyaihi's face is bright red as he covers his mouth in embarrassment. He turns to Co Dokium in a panic. What's going on? Did you know about this already? Co Dokium's movements remain composed. I've known for a while. Bekyaihi slams the table and stands up, his face flushed with agitation. This is ridiculous. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Co Hyun's expression is cold. This was decided before you were born. Bekyaihi's gaze drops. The image of I'm Seol appears in his mind. Then I become Dokium's fiancé. What about Seol? In the script, I'm supposed to be the villainess, not the female lead. He retorts emotionally, his cheeks flushed red. This is wrong. What right do the adults have to decide our fate? I may care about looks, but I care more about a person's character. Dohyun's expression freezes instantly. What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with my brother's character? Who do you think you are to reject my brother? You're the one who needs a character check. Get out if you have the guts. Bekyaihi retorts sharply. My refusal is exactly what you want, isn't it? Co Hyun's gaze is icy. Quiet. Dohyun, you've gone too far. He scolds him sternly. Who gave you permission to shout like that at the dinner table? Mind your manners. Dohyun instantly falls silent, trembling. He lowers his head, not daring to make another sound. Bekyaihi looks at the scolded Dohyun. I was the one who shouted first, but his father is stricter with him. Dohyun must be very hurt. Co Hyun's tone softens. The engagement is just a formality. Afterwards, you two can do as you please. Bekyaihi ponders. Right, how could the eldest son of a powerful family marry just anyone? He looks at the composed Co Dokium. How can he still eat in a situation like this? Bekyaihi's heart sinks. Dohyun looks a little sad. Outside the window, the night is deep. Moonlight envelopes the mansion. Bekyaihi sits on the edge of his bed. The news of the engagement was so sudden it scared my tears away. I become a minor. I can't even drink beer. What right do the adults have to decide our engagement, even if it's just a formality? Speaking of which, myself in the real world. Am I dead or just asleep? Am I supposed to give up the life I worked so hard to build so easily? He puts a comb in the drawer. Let's put that aside for now. Staying alive is the top priority. He stands before the vanity, gazing at his reflection in the mirror. I need to act like a real side character, live quietly, and for a long time. That way, I can return to reality or live independently as soon as I get the chance. That magnificent birthday dinner. I wanted to run away immediately. But maybe I don't have to be in such a hurry. That unprecedented feeling of being moved brought tears to my eyes. This is the first time in my life I've had such a special birthday. A knock on the door interrupts his thoughts. Yahi whips his head around. He looks at the closed door. Who is it? A male voice comes from outside the door. It's me. If you're not asleep, come out for a second. Yahi pulls the door open. Co Dokium. Co Dokium leans against the doorframe. It's nothing important. Dohyan's always like that. Don't mind him. Yahi's cheeks feel warm. Oh, okay. Showing up late at night with that face is against the rules. You came this late just to say that? Co Dokium takes a step forward. No. Yahi's heart tightens. He's getting closer. Co Dokium looks down at him. We have a place to go after school tomorrow. Just the two of us. Yahi's heart skips a beat. His breath catches in his throat. Inside a high-end clothing store, Yahi looks at the dazzling array of clothes. I thought we were going to prepare for the engagement. That really scared me. I didn't expect a part 2 to the birthday party. Co Dokium told him to pick whatever he wanted. This is a golden opportunity. He takes a step forward. Co Dokium. Co Dokium turns around. What is it? Yahi leans close to his ear, a greedy look on his face. How much can I spend? Co Dokium's expression doesn't change. Whatever you want. Father said not to worry about it. Yahi reveals a sly smile. Is that so? Then I'll spend so much that you'll never think of the word engagement again. Co Dokium holds out a black card. Really? Yahi nods. Really? He takes Co Dokium's hand. What you said earlier was actually a little touching. I'm so grateful to your father. Operation Get Fiancé Status Revoked begins now. He holds the black card high. Excuse me, I'll take everything from here to there. The clerk smiles and announces the price. The total is 58 million won. Yahi's smile freezes on his face. 50 million won? Co Dokium handed the card to the clerk, asking to pay in full. Yahi looked at him in horror. Are you crazy? He frantically waved his hands. Quick, cancel it. I was wrong. I thought it would be a few $100,000 at most. His face was pale. Co Dokium looked at him, hesitating. Didn't you say you were going to buy everything? Yahi laughed awkwardly. I think I'll just pick a few things. Tens of millions is a bit too much. His gaze wandered. The pricing for this brand is just ridiculous. He turned to look at Co Dokium. Why did you follow me? Do you have something to buy too? Co Dokium looked away. No, I just had some free time, and it would be a hassle if you got lost. Yahi's cheeks flushed. Is that so? Isn't this the tsundere of a male lead? He reached out and picked up a piece of clothing. Before being a minor villain, you're a male lead first and foremost. He smiled brightly. Co Dokium, thank you for taking such good care of me. I'll go try this on then. Co Dokium's gaze followed him. Go ahead. His breathing hitched slightly. Yahi looked back and instructed, don't you go anywhere. Wait for me here. Co Dokium replied, okay. He looked down at his phone. Yahi's voice came from the fitting room. Co Dokium. You're out there, right? Co Dokium looked up at the fitting room. Hurry up and come out. The fitting room curtain was suddenly pulled open. Yahi was wearing a white dress. He placed a hand over his heart, slightly shy and awkward. Do I look good in this? Co Dokium's breath caught for a moment. He lightly tapped his chin with his fingertip. System notification. Heartbeat arrhythmia caused by supporting character Yahi. This is the 17th time. Yahi looked at him, confused. What kind of reaction is that? Just by something. Co Dokium spoke. If I say it looks good, will you buy it? Yahi said, matter-of-factly, of course. This is being bought with your father's money. After all, Co Dokium replied faintly. It's all right. Yahi's eyes instantly lit up. He leaned closer to Co Dokium. Really? Then let's buy this one first. I'll just wear it out. The sun sank into the city's silhouette. I became the Co family's youngest daughter. And on that day, I met him. The driver was on the phone by the car. I'll be right back. Please wait a moment. Yahi waved from inside the car. Okay, take your time. He was in a good mood, as if he just received a birthday present. He looked at Co Dokium. Thank you so much. This kind of life, being a fake family member doesn't seem so bad. I'm so happy. CEO Dokium watched him quietly. He suddenly spoke. That's my father's money. You should thank him. Baek Yahi was slightly stunned. He turned to CEO Dokium. I'm grateful to you too. Thank you for spending so much time with me, even if it was just to kill time. The corner of CEO Dokium's mouth quirked up. As long as you're satisfied. You're a guest my father instructed me to entertain well. Baek Yahi's smile froze. A guest? He lowered his gaze. So you're only taking care of me because I'm a guest. What was that feeling just now? Baek Yahi, what are you disappointed about? That's the truth, isn't it? He glanced resentfully at CEO Dokium beside him. Thanks to you, I've finally woken up. Thank you for drawing the line. Truly the style of a male lead. Twilight enveloped the grand mansion. Dokium and Baek Yahi walked into the foyer side by side. Dokium broke the silence. I'm home. Do-hyun glared down at Baek Yahi from the stairs. What are you wearing, you idiot? Beside him, Dokium was expressionless. He ordered a servant. Take Miss Baek Yahi's luggage to his room. Do-hyun stood beside Dokium, his gaze instantly softening. So cool, brother Dokium. He responded coolly, I don't think so. Baek Yahi awkwardly looked away. CEO Hyun was already looking down at them from the second-floor railing. Since you're here, come and have dinner. Baek Yahi walked into the dining room. I don't want to break this family's rules. Breakfast and dinner must be eaten together. He tried his best to fit into this absurd drama titled A Daughter's Love. Dokium called out to him, Baek Yahi. He held up a plate of bright red raw steak. How would you like your beef today? Baek Yahi straightened up slightly. Medium. Do-hyun shouted from the side. Me too. Baek Yahi chewed in small bites. I haven't forgotten my role as a supporting character, nor have I forgotten the protagonist's danger. I must find a chance to leave safely. However, he was soaking in a bathtub, his feet comfortably sticking out of the water. This is the life, filled with the taste of success. Nothing heals the soul more than shopping. A voice pulled him back from his thoughts. He was sitting in a classroom, daydreaming. The teacher roared, Baek Yahi, how many times do I have to call you? Baek Yahi was startled awake. I'm sorry. He lowered his head in embarrassment. I can't get scolded by the teacher again. Dokium watched him quietly from the side. The teacher scanned the class. What are you looking at? You all slack off as soon as the holidays arrive. You can't let your grades become like this. Baek Yahi was suddenly alarmed. Holidays? He came to his senses. That's right. I was blinded by luxury. I almost forgot about that impending death event. His face turned deathly pale. That event happens just before the summer vacation of our second year of high school. A black sedan drove smoothly. Baek Yahi sat in the back seat. Don't worry, uncle. I will protect you. I'll stop CEO Dokium's fall from grace and then continue my luxurious life. He suddenly froze. Wait, if I can avoid this death flag. He looked at CEO Dokium. As long as he behaves himself before graduation, he won't fall from grace. He won't become a gangster. Then I can live with the most handsome guy in the universe. That doesn't sound so. He was scared out of his wits. The female lead doesn't transfer here until next year. What am I thinking? I'm just a guest. He shook his head violently. Get a grip. Baek Yahi, why are you thinking of him now of all times? Staring intently at the phone screen. I have to review CEO Hyun's plotline. Who is the spy? In the game, CEO Dokium made it clear. He was killed by a spy. On the surface, he's the boss of a famous company. But with such a big shot act personally, he was betrayed by someone close to him. The spy might be disguised within this house. CEO Dokium slowly approached him, questioning in a low voice, must save father on your phone. What does this mean? Baek Yahi babbled incoherently. It's nothing. CEO Dokium pressed. What did you write below that? Baek Yahi leaned back. Why are you peeking at my phone? What should I do? I have to find a way to bluff my way through this. CEO Dokium retorted. And you? Why did you write my father's name like that? Baek Yahi flashed a brilliant smile. I'm very interested in him. CEO Dokium looked at him expressionlessly. He asked coldly, interested in what way? The driver from the previous scene was silent. Baek Yahi stammered, he's so handsome and so young. CEO Dokium closed in on him. And then? My father has always been handsome. What are you worried about? Baek Yahi's eyes darted around. Logic can't save me now. I can only answer with something outrageous. The fact is, he gave a strange smile. I'm worried I'll become your mother. CEO Dokium's face instantly darkened. The tires let out a piercing screech. The vehicle suddenly lost control on the highway. The car finally stabilized. The driver looked panicked. You can't be serious. right? To say that with the young master sitting right next to you is too bold. Baek Yahi waved his hands frantically. Of course not. How could that be true? Now there's no way to bluff my way out of this. Co Dokium spoke calmly. Be careful what you say in the future, to avoid misunderstandings. Baek Yahi apologized in a small voice. I'm sorry. I swear I've never thought about it, not even once. Co Dokium nodded. In that case, I'm relieved. Baek Yahi breathed a sigh of relief. To dare to joke like that with Co Dokium. I'm getting bolder and bolder. I think I'm starting to enjoy this relationship. Anyway, about that spy. His gaze fell on the driver. It must be one of Co Hyun's closest aides. The vehicle arrived at the mansion. Baek Yahi walked up the stairs. If they're trusted aides, they wouldn't make a move at a time like this. They'd wait for a better opportunity. Co Hyun's gaze was gentle. What are you thinking about so seriously? Baek Yahi came to his senses. Uncle. Co Hyun had a smile on his face. Is school going well? Baek Yahi froze. You have no idea. You're going to die very soon. Co Hyun looked confused. He asked, did something happen? Baek Yahi said, Uncle, be careful of spies. Please, you must remember. He screamed internally. He must think I'm talking nonsense. Co Hyun nodded seriously. Okay, I'll remember that. Baek Yahi was stunned. Co Hyun turned to change clothes. Come down for dinner. He walked away. Baek Yahi whispered softly, okay. In the shadows, the driver watched with cold eyes. He heard everything. Baek Yahi opened his bedroom door. He actually believed me? This can't be real. A blinding blue light suddenly erupted. Baek Yahi cried out, shielding his face with his hands. A system window flashed before him. A new quest window appeared out of thin air. Ensure Co Dokium's survival. Success reward. Favorability with the Co brothers. There's a quest? This might be an opportunity. But what's with this reward? Favorability plus or minus? What if the penalty is a huge negative number? That's terrifying. An additional reward window popped up. Success reward. Unlisted Class 9 investment portfolio. Baek Yahi's eyes lit up. Amazing. Now that's what I call a reward. He clenched his fists. As long as I complete this quest, all my problems will be solved. A quest issued at the perfect time. It's as if someone is secretly watching. I feel a little uneasy. There's a lot I don't understand. Why was I so obsessed with mafia novels in the first place? A thought made him jump. In comics, something usually pops out at times like this, right? The room was silent. After all that build-up, shouldn't something appear? Baek Yahi made up his mind. Forget it, whatever. As long as I complete this quest, I can find out the whole truth. His finger landed on the input box. He took a deep breath, pressed the enter key, leaving all questions for the screen to answer. The blue light erupted again. A new window appeared prominently. Additional bonus reward. Everything about the secret stock funds. Baek Yahi screamed, you've been provoking me all this time, and now you're trying to tempt me with an extra reward? You think I'm going to refuse? He punched the air. You think I can't even save Uncle? His eyes burned with fighting spirit. You just wait and see. I will definitely save Uncle. The sunlight was blinding. A magnificent estate. 2 gray wolves were curled up asleep on the stone slabs. Co Hyun lifted his teacup, his gaze sweeping over the newspaper. He took a sip. The weather is nice. Do Hyun added a sugar cube. Yes, father. The weather is really nice today. How many sugar cubes should I put in? Dokium silently sipped his coffee. Coffee is better bitter. The three of them sat around the table. The atmosphere was peaceful. Co Dokium mused, is Baek Yahi still sleeping? Yesterday, he had his door closed, making a racket about something. But there's no need for me to care. Do Hyun suddenly slammed the table and stood up. Are you crazy? Baek Yahi was holding a hammer. His tone was feigning surprise. Oh my, Uncle, you actually dodged it. He tapped Co Hyun's shoulder with a hammer. Co Hyun looked exhausted. Yahi, that's enough. Yahi smiled brightly. I already told you. This is all for your own good. He whispered in Co Hyun's ear. Just think of it as an investment in the future. Baek Yahi turned and waved. I'll be going then. Do Hyun was furious. Damn it. Father, are you just going to let him go like that? He hasn't been mentally stable these past few days. The tip of his foot suddenly hit an object. Co Hyun's center of gravity shifted forward. His body lost balance. He clenched his jaw. He turned back in anger. Baek Yahi gave a double thumbs up, his smile innocent. Wow, you're pretty agile. Case number 2. A teddy bear was stuck on top of the door, a small knife clutched in its paw. Co Hyun pushed the door open in confusion. Baek Yahi, you called? The teddy bear fell straight down, landing with a thud at his feet. The knife glinted coldly. Co Hyun froze on the spot. Baek Yahi peeked out from behind him. Case number 3. Co Hyun pulled out a chair, but didn't sit down. A hand suddenly shot out from under the table. Co Hyun took a step back. Baek Yahi was lying on the floor. How did you dodge that? That's amazing. Do Hyun stared at his father. If you keep letting this go on, he'll just keep causing trouble. Seo Hyun picked up his teacup. He said he's training my reflexes. Just leave him be. He'll stop when he gets tired of it. Do Hyun asked excitedly. How do you know when he'll get tired of it? Seo Hyun was silent. Seo Dokyum's head was bowed, his eyes were dim, and he said nothing. The grand estate was bathed in sunlight, but Baek Yahi's taunting voice lingered. Uncle, I found a weak spot. You're still here? He stretched as he walked down the hallway. Want me to give you some evening training? Seo Dokyum appeared in front of him, silently looking down at him. Baek Yahi's cheeks instantly flushed red. Seo Dokyum took a step closer. Are you crazy? Baek Yahi looked innocent. What are you suddenly talking about? Seo Dokyum's tone became serious. Stop doing those weird things to father. I don't know what your goal is, but if this continues, someone will get hurt. Baek Yahi laughed. I don't want to. He put his hands on his hips. Mind your own business. You wouldn't understand the sorrow of a supporting character anyway. Seo Dokyum looked perplexed. What? Baek Yahi suddenly became agitated, tears welling in his eyes. A sacrificial, supporting character. After death, they just become fuel for the protagonist's awakening. Do you understand the tragedy of being used as a disposable plot device? Seo Dokyum's brow furrowed. What on earth are you talking about? Baek Yahi pointed at Seo Dokyum. All right, since it's come to this, you should train with me too. Act like the eldest son, big brother. Seo Dokyum refused expressionlessly. Why should I? I'm not interested. Instead of doing these useless things, you should take better care of yourself and stop reading those delusional novels. Baek Yahi's eyes widened. What did you say? Seo Dokyum turned and walked away, his back resolute. Baek Yahi watched his back. That punk. Is Seo Dokyum worried that a pitiful supporting character like me will be crushed by his big shot father? He's worrying for nothing. He stomped away angrily. Father isn't going to be crushed. He's about to die. Who am I working so hard for? Don't come crying and thanking me later. Seo Dokyum mused. Is it because our family is in the mafia? Do Hyun peeked out from behind a door. Brother. He walked up to Seo Dokyum. I don't really believe it, but what Baek Yahi said is bothering me a little. His eyes were worried. Is it possible that father is really in danger? Seo Dokyum smiled slightly. That kind of thing won't happen. Do Hyun looked up at his brother. You know what kind of person father is. For him to just let Baek Yahi run around saying things about spies. It's too strange. Help me keep a closer eye on Baek Yahi. Baek Yahi turned and left, his footsteps echoing in the hallway. Seo Dokyum watched his retreating back. Got it. The setting sun enveloped the building. In an office, a subordinate was reporting. According to the current investigation, there are no signs of a spy within the organization. However, the spy may not be fully active yet, or is operating externally to avoid suspicion. Therefore, we plan to further strengthen security. That concludes my report. Seo Hyun sighed wearily. So you haven't found any instigators of internal discord at all? You may go. The subordinate turned, then stopped. Sir, may I ask a question? Seo Hyun looked up. What is it? The subordinate began. It's about Miss Baek Yahi. How much do you trust him? Seo Hyun demanded. What do you mean by that? The subordinate looked him straight in the eye. I know he is the child of your dear friend, but are you hiding anything else? I trust you, sir, but that doesn't mean I can blindly trust Miss Baek Yahi. He clenched his fists, especially since he is the young master's intended fiancé. The organization must be wary of him. I need a clear explanation. Seo Hyun swiveled his chair. That's enough. I don't need your suspicions. I personally vouch for that child's background. You may leave. The subordinate was in disbelief. He opened the door. A woman with purple hair was standing outside. Team Leader Chai Yilin. Chai Yilin held up a file in her hand. Good afternoon, Mr. Wu. I have a report to submit to the chairman. Mr. Wu opened the door. Yes. Seo Hyun swiveled his chair. Team Leader Chai, wasn't your overseas mission supposed to end next week? Chai Yilin explained. The schedule ended earlier than expected, so I returned ahead of time. She placed a file on the desk. Special record of insiders. Abstract. Also, I heard some unexpected news and wanted to see you as soon as possible. I didn't expect such a lovely young lady to have come to the house. Seo Hyun looked at the file. You've done a background check. Chai Yilin smiled slightly. I don't know the details, but I am aware of Miss Beck Yahi's existence. It still surprised me that he is here as a fiancé. She lowered her head. Forgive my impertinence, but I wanted to know if this is a suitable match. Co Hien crossed his arms, his expression serious. That is not for you to judge. Chai Yilin quickly bowed deeply. I apologize. Co Hien stood up. This is perfect. I was planning to introduce you to that child anyway. You know, that child also lost his mother recently. He must be in a lot of pain, being all alone now. Chai Yilin whispered, is that so? I didn't know. Co Hien stood by the window. He reminds me of you when you were young. Your situations are very similar. That's why I'm so concerned about him. Chai Yilin smiled slightly. I understand. Since I'm here, I'd like to greet the young lady before it gets dark. Co Hien nodded. Very well. Thank you. You may go. Chai Yilin bowed. Yes, Chairman. The door closed behind her. The smile on Chai Yilin's face faded, her eyes turning profound. Twilight enveloped the grand estate. Beck Yahi scanned the rose garden and the fountain pool. Empty. How's he not here either? His anxiety deepened. It's so strange. This should be his usual time for a walk, but I can't find him anywhere. He moved along the high garden wall. This place is too big. Once the sun sets, it'll be even more impossible to find him. He's not avoiding me, is he? A dark figure loomed up behind him. A cold voice cut through the air. What are you doing here? A scream got caught in Beck Yahi's throat. He clutched his chest, backing away along the wall. His laugh was dry and forced. Oh, it's you. I was just. Mr. Wu questioned sharply. Are you trying to play another prank on the chairman? Beck Yahi waved his hands in a fluster. It's definitely not a prank. I'm seriously training the chairman's abilities. Mr. Wu's hand suddenly slammed against the wall next to his ear. He leaned in close. Miss Beck Yahi, I'll be direct. His eyes became sharp. Any existence that threatens my family, I will eliminate without hesitation. I trust you understand what that means. He turned and walked away. Remember that. Beck Yahi froze on the spot, his breath caught. Was I about to be eliminated? Fear gripped him. He trembled uncontrollably. You're terrifying. His mind went blank. A single thought pierced through the chaos. Does this mean this quest is a life or death mission? Where the hell did that damn chairman go? He has no idea how dangerous it is right now. He suddenly straightened up. That's right. There's one more place I haven't checked. The chairman's study. Only authorized people can enter. But now is not the time to be picky. The light is on, too. Good. Time for a surprise attack. High-intensity simulation training starts now. He put his fist to his chest. Life is a real battle. Chairman, Beck Yahi was held back by people. Please, let me go in for a second. I'll be right out. The bodyguards' faces were pale. They shouted in terror, Miss. How can you say such terrifying things? Please just go back. Beck Yahi struggled fiercely. You don't know anything. A calm female voice sounded out. Let go of his hand. Beck Yahi straightened up. The bodyguards immediately released him. The crisp sound of footsteps approached from a distance. Chai Yilin appeared at the end of the hallway. The bodyguards immediately bowed deeply. Team leader, you're here. Beck Yahi stared at the newcomer. Who is she? I don't remember. If she was in the game, I would never forget. This beauty is enough to threaten the female lead MCO's position. Chai Yilin smiled slightly. I've been very curious. We finally meet, Miss Beck Yahi. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, her smile radiant. Beck Yahi's cheeks flushed. Hello. Chai Yilin crossed her arms. She ordered the bodyguards. We have something to discuss. You're dismissed. The bodyguards responded and retreated. Chai Yilin turned to Beck Yahi. You must have been frightened, Miss Beck. The chairman's study is off limits, which is why there was a commotion. Beck Yahi's cheeks flushed. You're so pretty. He quickly waved his hands. I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to ask about the chairman's menu for tomorrow morning. Chai Yilin was amused. What a cute question. So that's what you were curious about. Her eyes were smiling. It seems we'll be seeing each other often from now on. Next time you have such a cute question, you can come and ask me, okay? Beck Yahi was stunned, his cheeks growing hotter. Okay. Chai Yilin extended her hand. I am Chai Yilin, the chief secretary who assists the chairman. Please call me Team Leader Chai. Beck Yahi took her hand. Okay, Team Leader Chai. Chai Yilin smiled as she held his hand. I'll look forward to working with you. Beck Yahi's cheeks were burning. Okay. Chai Yilin took his shoulder. Let's talk more about tomorrow's breakfast as I walk you back to your room. Beck Yahi stared at her, a thought becoming clear. Why wasn't this character in the game? She could become a powerful ally for me. A system notification appeared before his eyes. Saving quest progress. Saved. A sun-drenched school campus. Beck Yahi walked out of the counseling office. The teacher's lecture was still ringing in his ears. You've been spacing out a lot lately. Pay more attention from now on. Beck Yahi walked down the hallway, his steps heavy with thought. I can't control myself either. Time keeps passing. Can I really protect Co Dokium? He turned to look out the window. Downstairs, a black sedan was parked quietly. Several men in black suits stood as still as iron. Is that the mafia? It must be the bodyguards working hard again. He leaned against the window, a real iron fortress. His gaze fell on Mr. Wu. His heart skipped a beat. His warning echoed in his mind. Any existence that threatens my family, I will eliminate without hesitation. Beck Yahi's body trembled slightly. Rather than protection, this feels more like surveillance. More importantly, the mission progress. Why isn't the status window responding? He waved his fist. Say something, damn it. Where are you? Here or there? Co Dokium turned to look at him. You're really ridiculous. Beck Yahi's face instantly flushed red. Ridiculous? I'm doing this to protect your father. Co Dokium sighed. Here we go again. His footsteps dragged along the hallway in a lonely, cold rhythm. I told you to behave yourself. Beck Yahi, wearing slippers, chased after him. Wait, Co Dokium. I have something to ask you. He grabbed Co Dokium's hand. Co Dokium stopped walking. What is it? Beck Yahi met his gaze. What kind of person is Mr. Wu in your family? Co Dokium questioned. Why do you care about that? Beck Yahi answered. To protect him. I might need Mr. Wu's help, so I want to get closer to him. Co Dokium's gaze grew distant. When our family was at its lowest point, he was the first one to come to our side. I've known him since I was a child, and my father also cherishes him greatly. Beck Yahi fell silent. A spy is bound to be someone close. The deeper the trust, the easier it is to hide. This means the most suspicious person right now is Mr. Wu, the man the Co family considers family. He suddenly tightened his grip on Co Dokium's wrist. Co Dokium, listen carefully. You might think this is nonsense, but just let yourself be fooled this once. Hear me out. You know many people are watching your father, so danger could strike at any moment. This is why I've been training so desperately. His other hand also covered the back of his hand. I'm wary of spy. I have no proof. It's a gut feeling. So if I tell you something in earnest, I hope you'll believe me just this once. He gripped Co Dokium's hand tightly. I am screwed. Co Dokium lowered his gaze and fell silent. Beck Yahi's hand trembled uncontrollably. Co Dokium finally looked up, his gaze firm. I believe you. Beck Yahi was completely stunned. His voice held a slight tremor. What did you just say? Co Dokium calmly repeated. I said I believe you. I don't usually believe in things like intuition, but this time I'll try believing you. A wave of ecstasy washed over Beck Yahi. Really? You really believe me? I'm so moved. Co Dokium suddenly leaned in. But there's something I've been wanting to say. Beck Yahi's cheeks grew hot. What is it? The students around them started whispering. Co Dokium whispered in Beck Yahi's ear. Let go of my hand. Beck Yahi froze on the spot. I am sorry. Co Dokium. System prompt. Notoriety has increased. Sunlight poured down, filling the magnificent mansion. A door opened quietly. Beck Yahi peeked out from behind the door. His eyes lit up. All right. He tiptoed down the stairs. Uncle Co Hien had an early schedule. Co Dokium and Do Hien should still be asleep. He clenched his fists at the dining table. I must go to school by myself today. To save Uncle's life. I was so nervous then. I actually grabbed Co Dokium's hand in front of the whole school. He took a fierce bite of toast. As long as I avoid him on the way to school for a few days. Yesterday's incident should be forgotten. The hands of the grandfather clock by the wall ticked away. Beck Yahi sat alone in the dining room. But today it was excessively quiet. He stood up and looked around the hall. Even the people from the organization were gone. He held his breath. A faint sound came from upstairs. Beck Yahi whipped his head around to look at the empty staircase. A chill ran down his spine. Something feels strange today. His vision was instantly consumed by a red alert. Supporting character Beck Yahi's death countdown begins. Beck Yahi's pupils trembled violently. The bright red number 59 burned into his retinas. He covered his ears in pain. It's too loud. What's happening? Am I going to die? The color drained from his face. I haven't even had the chance to protect the chairman. Am I going to die a miserable death like this? He rushed towards the main door. No, why me? He pushed the door with all his might. I have to get out first. He suddenly realized the spy's target has become me. He collapsed to his knees, clutching his head in agony. A voice called out, Bek Yahi. Bek Yahi trembled all over. The voice called again. What's wrong with you? Bek Yahi. Bek Yahi slowly raised his eyes, his vision gradually focusing. The alarm in his head abruptly stopped, replaced by a new message, threat eliminated. Safety status secured. Co Dokium looked at him, his eyes full of worry. Are you okay? Bek Yahi's hands trembled as he tightly gripped Co Dokium's shirt. He could no longer hold it in, and burst into tears. Co Dokium's brows furrowed. Why are you crying? Bek Yahi buried his face in Co Dokium's chest, his shoulders still shaking slightly. Co Dokium's hand gently patted his back. Sunlight streamed through the high windows. Co Dokium's voice sounded. If you've cried enough, lift your head. Bek Yahi slowly looked up, his cheeks flushed, and gently pushed away from Co Dokium's chest. His cheeks were burning. Thanks to you, I've calmed down. You must have been startled too, right? His mind raced. How do I explain this situation? I can't just say a death alarm went off in my head, can I? Co Dokium's gaze swept across the hall. What exactly happened just now? Why were you so panicked? Did someone come here? Bek Yahi forced a smile. No, I just wasn't feeling well and was a bit on edge. You also grabbed me suddenly from behind, so I was more startled than usual. I'm a coward by nature. That's why. Co Dokium looked at his pale face. Then you should rest today. Bek Yahi immediately shook his head. I want to go to school. I can go. He blurted out, let's go to school together. If I stay home alone like this, I'll really die. Co Dokium held out his hand. I know. If this keeps up, we'll both be late. Do-hyun watched the two of them sticking close together up ahead and frowned in confusion. What's with those two? Co Dokium's gaze fell. His hand covered Bek Yahi's. He ordered expressionlessly, stay close to me. Bek Yahi's cheeks instantly flushed red. Behind them, Do-hyun shuddered. Brother, you're really giving me goosebumps. What's gotten into you? Did you fall for Bek Yahi's honey trap? Co Dokium shot Do-hyun a glare. He said he's not feeling well. Do-hyun was incredulous. Not feeling well? He abruptly leaned in front of Bek Yahi, scrutinizing his face. If you're not well, you should rest at home. If we keep dallying like this, we'll all be late. He strode away. I'm leaving first. Co Dokium turned his head to look at Bek Yahi. How are you feeling now? Bek Yahi, linking arms with him, answered in a small voice. Nothing serious, aside from being a little dizzy. Co Dokium's gaze left no room for doubt. Is there something you want to tell me? No matter how I look at it, you seem terrified just now. Bek Yahi was startled. He's unexpectedly sharp. He lowered his head. What I said before was everything. Don't worry about it anymore. He requested in a low voice. Just let me walk to the school gate like this. Co Dokium turned his face away. Got it. We can talk later if there's anything else. Bek Yahi mused. Just a moment ago, I was thinking about going to school by myself, but now I'm linking arms with him. Get a grip, Bek Yahi. But I can't help it, for some reason. I feel safe as long as I'm near Co Dokium. I've been on edge all day, afraid that I might suddenly collapse. Sudden death crisis 1. A volleyball came whistling through the air. A voice screamed, Bek Yahi dodge. Bek Yahi closed his eyes in despair. Getting hit by, that would cause a concussion at least, right? It's over. Co Dokium's figure flashed and appeared in front of him. Bek Yahi looked up in a daze. Where did he come from? Sudden death crisis 2. Bek Yahi rushed up the stairs. Damn it, I'm the only one who's going to be late. His slipper stepped on a puddle of water, and he slipped violently, losing his balance. A hand firmly steadied him. Co Dokium pulled him into his arms. Be careful. Why are you being so reckless? Bek Yahi sat on the edge of the bed. I only survived thanks to Co Dokium. But the warning window didn't pop up at school. Does the death threat only appear home? He rubbed his temples. My head is about to split open. I have to save my own life first. Do I have to? Keep Co Dokium by my side like a bodyguard. A knock came at the door. Bek Yahi looked up from the bed. Is it Co Dokium? He walked to the door and peeked out through the crack. He asked softly, May I ask who it is? Chai Yilin smiled. Hello, Mr. Bek Yahi. I'm sorry for the sudden visit. Bek Yahi recognized her. Team Leader Chai, what brings you here? Chai Yilin replied. The chairman asked me to run an errand. Bek Yahi relaxed. He broke into a brilliant smile. Please come in. Chai Yilin stepped inside. She smiled and said thanks. The world was instantly swallowed by a stream of red data. Warning, a cold system sound exploded in his mind. Bek Yahi's pupils contracted. If supporting character Bek Yahi fails to escape within 10 seconds, he will be executed immediately. You will be killed. Chai Yilin stood with her hands on her hips. Her shadow fell over Bek Yahi, a confident smile playing on her lips. It was a death sentence. The countdown begins. Fear froze on Baek Yahi's face. The spy, Chai Yilin, took a step forward, her high heels clicking on the floor. Baek Yahi's scream pierced the silence. He scrambled out of the room. CEO Dokyum came out of his room. What's wrong? Baek Yahi threw himself into his arms. An alarm blared. Intruder. CEO Dokyum lowered his head and whispered in his ear. Baek Yahi looked up. A crisp footstep sounded. CEO Dokyum looked up. Chai Yilin smiled in greeting. Hello, young master. Baek Yahi shivered in CEO Dokyum's arms. CEO Dokyum shielded Baek Yahi behind him. Something seems to have happened. It feels a little off. Chai Yilin tilted her head with feigned concern. I'm not sure. I was worried when I heard the scream. She looked at Baek Yahi. What's wrong? Are you all right? Baek Yahi's pupils contracted in fear. How could I be all right? He clutched the hem of Dokyum's shirt. Should I expose Team Leader Chai now? What if things get worse? Chai Yilin smiled faintly. I'm relieved that the young master is here. I'll head back first. She turned to leave. I'll take my leave then. Goodbye. The sound of high heels echoed down the hallway, fading into the distance. Dokyum's brows furrowed slightly. It was like this in the morning. And now again. Are you scared because of Team Leader Chai? Baek Yahi's body stiffened. Should he tell the truth? He hesitated. Chai Yilin, just like Mr. Wu, is someone this family values greatly. I'm just a guest who arrived recently. I'm the most suspicious person here. His expression was grave. A drop of cold sweat trickled down, but he clasped his hands together and looked up at Dokyum. If I tell you something from the bottom of my heart, I hope you can believe me this time. Dokyum looked at him with a calm gaze. Okay, I believe you. Baek Yahi took a deep breath. That's right. CEO Dokyum will believe me. He looked directly into Dokyum's eyes. Team Leader Chai is the spy. Night in the city. Horns blared. A black sedan sped down the highway, its engine roaring. Chai Yilin gripped the steering wheel. Her profile was cold, her gaze fixed on the distance. Inside a memorial hall, she knelt before her parents' portraits. Mom, Dad, what should I do? I'm all alone now. She clenched her fists. An accident or a lie. Something's not right. A voice came from the shadows. You're quite sharp. Chai Yilin looked up, stunned. A man in a suit whispered, Do you want to know? Who killed your parents? Co Hien is the one you must take revenge on. Chai Yilin's pupils contracted sharply. A phone rang. She picked up her phone. Yes, sir. I'm going to see him now. Night enveloped a mansion. A light was on in one window. Do Hyen's voice was heard. I'm back. The servants immediately greeted him loudly. Welcome back. Young master. Do Hyen walked into the entrance hall. He looked annoyed. Why was the class meeting so long? CO Dokyum stood on the second floor. He spoke. You're late. Do Hyen looked at the two of them. Did you come together? I was just consulting with teacher He. He looked around the empty hall. Isn't father off work yet? Didn't Mr. Wu say he was in a meeting? Worry was written all over Baek Yahi's face. He looked at Dokyum. Should we go directly to the company to find the chairman? Dokyum interrupted him. Don't worry too much. Mr. Wu and the others are always with the chairman. What will we go to the company for? Mr. Wu walked in, his footsteps steady. Baek Yahi cried out in surprise. He rushed down the stairs. Where's the chairman? Didn't he leave with you? Mr. Wu replied, that was the plan. But his expression was grave. The chairman and Team Leader Chai had something urgent to discuss. He told us to leave first, saying it might take a long time. Baek Yahi covered his face with his hands. What? Team Leader Chai clearly said she had other plans today. Mr. Wu looked troubled. It was an unscheduled, urgent matter. Do Hyen frowned. What's going on? Meeting Team Leader Chai shouldn't be a problem. Dokyum's eyes darkened. Do Hyen, you stay here and eat. Mr. Wu, I'm going to the company immediately. He looked at Baek Yahi. You stay too. Don't worry. Baek Yahi gripped Dokyum's hand. I don't want to just wait here. He pulled Dokyum and rushed to the door. Let's go together. Do Hyen shouted from behind. Damn it, take me with you. A guard stepped forward to block the way. Wait. His questioning voice rang out. Even if he is the young master's guest, we can't just let him pass. Baek Yahi was at a loss for words. Dokyum's gaze was sharp. He broke the silence. I trust him. The guard still wanted to object. But, young master, Dokyum ignored the obstruction. He grabbed Baek Yahi's wrist. Let's go. Night enveloped the city. The lights of the bridge formed a line. Traffic flowed like a river. A black motorcade sped down the highway, engines roaring as they escorted the car in the middle. Silence filled the car. Baek Yahi's expression was slightly uneasy. The special status window hasn't popped up yet. Uncle, you should still be safe. He bit his lower lip, right? Uncle. Dokyum turned his face, his gaze meeting his. Are you worried? Baek Yahi's eyes wavered. Yes. Shouldn't we catch up to Team Leader Chai immediately? His hands twisted together nervously, his knuckles white from a force. His body trembled slightly. If this goes on, What if? Dokium's profile was sharp. Calm down. Father is much stronger than you think. He'll be fine. Do-Hyen's hands gripped the seatbelt tightly. Baekyahi said Team Leader Chai is a spy. Is father really in danger then? I'm scared to death. Dokium reached out and placed a hand on his shoulder. Are you worried about father? Do-Hyen's voice trembled, but the opponent is Team Leader Chai. In the driver's seat of the front car, Mr. Wu held the steering wheel steady and spoke calmly. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Baekyahi's eyes were resolute. I absolutely cannot let anything happen. In a dim office, Seo-Hien asked what happened. It looked serious. Chai Yilin was silent. Seo-Hien stood with his hands in his pockets, his eyes sharp. Spit it out, don't drag it on. Let's get straight to the point. Chai Yilin turned her face away, her expression pained. The two faced each other from a distance. Chai Yilin began to question him. Why on earth did you do that? She asked, word by word. Did you kill my parents? Seo-Hien's brows knitted together. What are you talking about? Explain it to me clearly. Fury blazed in Chai Yilin's eyes. She retorted sarcastically. Explain? Memories surfaced. Snow covered the magnificent mansion. A subordinate's voice sounded. Chairman, someone claiming to be the child of team leader Chai Gunha has arrived. Seo-Hien lowered his gaze. A young voice spoke. Hello, Chairman Seo-Hien. Please take me in. I have nowhere to go. In the snow, a young Chai Yilin knelt on the ground. Seo-Hien's voice sounded. If it's Team Leader Chai's child, I remember he was part of the White Dragon Clan. Chai Yilin responded in a low voice, yes. But I hate the White Dragon Clan. I want to become a member of Doyao. My parents sacrificed themselves for it. She stood up. I truly have no one left. Chai Yilin completely exploded. You must have been laughing at me in your heart for a long time, treating me like a child who knows nothing. Cut your disgusting act. She suddenly drew a knife, its blade glinting coldly. Answer me. She advanced on Seo-Hien with a knife. Why did you kill my parents? Outside the building, a commotion broke out. Who's there? You can't come in. A security guard anxiously blocked the lobby entrance. What's with these students? Outsiders are forbidden. Seo Dokium stood in front of the guard. We are the chairman's family. This is an emergency. Please step aside. The guard looked troubled. I have no proof. Mr. Wu stepped forward and showed his employee ID. We are Chairman Seo-Hien's children and his personal bodyguards. His tone was firm. We came because we receive an urgent call. Please cooperate. The group entered the lobby. The bodyguards quickly fanned out to secure the area. Dokium stood in the center analyzing. Team Leader Chai arranged to meet father. Based on the situation, the location could be the third-floor meeting room, the 10th-floor conference hall, or father's office. He picked up his walkie-talkie. If a large group moves at once, she'll notice and escape. The raid will use minimal personnel. The rest will move in batches undercover. He looked at Baekyahi. Understood? Baekyahi clenched his fists tightly, his eyes determined. The bodyguards rushed up the stairs. The head bodyguard raised his walkie-talkie. Report immediately once you find the chairman. A door was pushed open quietly. Baekyahi peeked out from the crack, his expression tense. Dokium's figure appeared behind him. Baekyahi leaned against the wall, panting heavily. Dokium watched him quietly. Your stamina is pretty good. Good thing it was only the third floor. Both of their pupils contracted. Inside the room, Seo-Hien was on the floor, his hand gripping the blade tightly, letting the sharp edge cut into his palm. Blood dripped down drop by drop. Chai Yilin looked stunned. And growl, let go. Seo-Hien didn't back down. Chai Yilin roared, I told you to let go. Seo-Hien's tone held a hint of mockery. Did I kill your parents? After being with me for 10 years, is that what you really think? Chai Yilin froze. That's not important. You've already gone this far. Why won't you admit it? No matter how I think about it, it could only be you, the leader of the organization that opposed my parents. The one who was their sworn enemy in the past was only you. Seo-Hien let go of his hand. In that case, then stab me. He leaned against the wall, his gaze surprisingly calm. I'll give you a chance. Chai Yilin's pupils contracted sharply. Her lips trembled, unable to believe what she was hearing. She clenched her jaw, her body rigid. The door was thrown open. Dokium and Baekyahi burst in. Baekyahi rushed to Seo-Hien's side. The status window still hasn't popped up. The mission failure notification. He tightly gripped Seo-Hien's hand, tears silently streaming down. Seo-Hien's hand rose, trembling. With his last bit of strength, he gently brushed past Baekyahi's ear. A blue window suddenly popped up. Main mission complete. Baekyahi froze on the spot. He raised his tear-filled eyes. Seo-Hien, favorability +10. Successfully rescued Seo-Hien. Hidden setting unlocked as a reward. Seo Hyun showed a faint smile. Thanks to your training, I wasn't badly hurt. I wonder if my agility has increased. Baek Yahi broke into a tearful smile, tears of joy welling up. He hugged Seo Hyun tightly. Dokyum stood to the side, his eyes filled with confusion. He looked up, scanning the ceiling, as if confirming something. He took a step forward and looked at Seo Hyun. Father, Team Leader Chai. Seo Hyun raised a hand to stop him. Leave her for now. Let the kid have a moment. The door was thrown open. People rushed inside, shouting. Do-hyun threw himself at his father, crying. Dokyum sighed. Behind him, Mr. Wu had a stunned expression. On the highway in the dead of night, a sedan cut through the darkness, its engine roaring as it drove away. In the driver's seat, Chai Yilin gritted her teeth. Damn it, I was like a fool. The phone screen showed a call interface. Contact, BY High Level. In an office, a man stood by the window, looking down at the city below. The tone indicating an unreachable call sounded. He muttered coldly to himself, a failure. Why overreach? He picked up a file on the desk. Baek Yahi's ID photo came into view. In a dim room, Seo Hyun's figure stood before the window with his back to the others. Mr. Wu spoke. Boss, I'm deeply sorry. We failed to notice the betrayal right under our noses. I am not qualified to serve you. I am willing to take responsibility for everyone and accept punishment. Even if you dismiss me immediately, I will accept your decision. He and all the subordinates suddenly bowed low to the ground. I have no excuses. I'm sorry. Seo Hyun turned his face. The responsibility for this incident lies with me. A hand let go. The bloody knife fell. Chai Yilin lowered her eyes, tears welling up. What do you know? His voice trembled. People always come to regret their obsessions. She looked down at Seo Hyun on the ground. The time I spent with you has become a poison. I was once certain that you were the one who killed my parents. But how could it be? She turned around, her back resolute. So if you want to find me and kill me, she lifted her head, her eyes holding a broken pride. Then do as you please. Seo Hyun stood by the window, the light outlining his silhouette. He spoke calmly. I will not hold anyone responsible for what happened today. But if you use shame as an excuse to declare you're leaving the organization, that would be an even greater offense. The subordinate shuddered. Seo Hyun looked down at everyone. We must now prevent internal strife. Get rid of those foolish thoughts. Conduct one-on-one investigations of all members. Eradicate any future trouble from the inside out. Track Chai Yilin's movements. Once you find her, do not engage. Report to me immediately. The children must have been frightened. You must take extra care to protect them. Apologize to Do-hyun and Baek Yahi. Do you understand? Mr. Wu lowered his head deeply. Yes, my lord. He bowed deeply. I'm truly very sorry. Baek Yahi and Do-hyun looked up, confused. Mr. Wu bowed deeply again. I'm misunderstood. Miss Ning, I suspected you were a spy. Please forgive me. Baek Yahi hurriedly stood up, waving her hands. You don't have to do this. It's all right. Anyone can make that kind of mistake. Please, raise your head. So his previous vigilance was all to protect Uncle. Mr. Wu slowly raised his head, his eyes filled with uncertainty. Have you truly forgiven me? So gentle. Baek Yahi gave a brilliant smile. Of course. We were both trying to protect Uncle, weren't we? Dokyum was drying his hair with a towel, looking exhausted. Baek Yahi took Mr. Wu's hand. How could I be angry? I am grateful. Thanks to you, we found him in time. Mr. Wu was taken aback, a blush creeping up his cheeks. Thank you, Miss Ning. I will never doubt you again. Do-hyun sighed in relief. That's great. Baek Yahi looked at him, confused. What did you just say? Do-hyun's cheeks flushed red. He rubbed the back of his neck and looked away. I said, it's great that Dad is okay. This doesn't mean I've completely accepted you. His voice grew smaller. But thank you anyway. Baek Yahi was completely stunned. Her eyes widened, and her cheeks instantly turned bright red. The atmosphere at the dining table exploded. Mr. Wu looked at the two of them and burst out laughing. So that's how you thank your big sister, huh? Baek Yahi teased Do-hyun. Say it again. Do-hyun's brow was furrowed. He remained silent. Night enveloped the mansion, with warm light glowing from a few windows. Baek Yahi stretched comfortably on her bed. Mission complete. This time, Uncle will live a long life. I actually did it. I completely reversed the prologue of the gangster love story. The entire CO family is grateful to me. Does this mean I'm going back to my real life? The thought of leaving immediately actually makes me a little sad. Of course, I'll miss the taste of money therapy. But more importantly, I was never lonely for a single moment here. She sat up abruptly, shouting into the air, status window, come out. I have a ton of questions for you. You promised me. An interface unfolded before her eyes, automatically detecting new information about Chai Yilin. Baek Yahi froze. What? The interface flickered, loading information. Chai Yilin, a victim of the Platinum Gang. Her personal information has been leaked to the gang leader. Baek Yahi's expression grew solemn. So Chai Yilin was a spy for the Platinum Gang. This is the first I'm hearing of it. The Platinum Gang. The interface suddenly displayed a new warning. Supporting character Baek Yahi's personal information has been leaked to the Platinum Gang leader. Baek Yahi showed a confident smile. A mere supporting character. The chances of Baek Yahi being targeted alone are almost zero. Besides, now that Seo Hyun has survived, most of the tragedies will be rewritten. The interface abruptly vanished. Baek Yahi lunged forward. You damn status window. You just gone like that? I still have a mountain of questions, but you just focus on completing your task and disappear without a word. Without a long sigh. Forget it. I'll deal with it later. For now, I'll just enjoy this hard-won peace. A soft knock came at the door. A voice came from outside. Baek Yahi, are you asleep? It's Dokyum. Baek Yahi sat up in bed, her face full of confusion. Gomin. Dokyum walked into the room, holding a pillow and a blanket. Baek Yahi looked at him, puzzled. What are you doing? Dokyum retorted. Can't you tell? He lay down on the floor, getting ready to sleep. Right next to you. Baek Yahi's cheeks instantly grew scorching hot. What? She jumped out of bed, her voice trembling. Are you crazy? Why are you sleeping here? Dokyum lay on his back. If you hadn't screamed back then, I might have been a step too late. So, tonight, just think of it as close quarters protection. Baek Yahi was exasperated. You unfilial son, the one who got hurt was your father. What are you doing guarding me? Get up. Dokyum said, Father will understand. Baek Yahi leaned down close to Dokyum. You're aware that I'm a woman and you're a man, right? Dokyum looked at her calmly. I know. He rolled over, his back to Baek Yahi. Don't worry. If you try anything funny, I'll take you down in an instant. Go to sleep. Baek Yahi gritted her teeth in anger. Crazy bastard. She snapped off the light. Fine. Who's afraid of who? It's just sharing a room. I don't care anymore. She got into her bed. Protection, my ass. You're just a little punk. My sleepiness is completely gone. Even if this is a game, even if I'm possessing this body. She pulled the covers over her head. But right now, the you in front of me is a living, breathing man. Dokyum's voice came from the floor. How did you know? Baek Yahi's voice was filled with confusion. Know what? Dokyum stared at the ceiling. About team leader Chai Yilin. I never suspected her at all. Many years ago, at the villa, Seo Hyun led Chai Yilin in. You can live here. It won't be inconvenient here. Dokyum ran in. Dad, he looked at the unfamiliar woman. Who is this big sister? Seo Hyun smiled and picked up his son. Say hello. This is Chai Yilin. He announced from now on, she's family. Little Dokyum looked at Chai Yilin. He said softly, Hello, Sister Yilin. A flicker of panic crossed Chai Yilin's face. She managed to reply, Hello. Dokyum continued. Team leader Chai was with us for a long time. She was precious to us. So how did you know she was a spy? Baek Yahi's eyes darted around nervously. Because my intuition is very sharp. Actually, I felt something was off since this morning, so I was on high alert. That's how I discovered the problem with team leader Chai. Dokyum's voice was flat. At this rate, you might as well just join the organization. Baek Yahi immediately retorted, Absolutely not. Now it's my turn to ask you, why are you taking such good care of me? For a guest, this is going too far, don't you think? Dokyum looked at her. You're not an ordinary guest. You're a very troublesome and high-maintenance guest. Baek Yahi lowered her eyes. All right, she was truly sorry. You're probably the only gangster this gentle. She closed her eyes, her breathing gradually steadying. Dokyum's gaze was unfocused. Good question. Why am I doing this? Baek Yahi tossed and turned in bed, sweat soaking the hair on her forehead. Her memory plunged into a pitch-black cage. A young Baek Yahi curled up alone. It's so dark here, and stuffy and hot. So scared. Please, someone get me out. A loud bang. Baek Yahi woke with a start, her pupils contracting in fear. She gasped for air. The chandelier on the ceiling was swaying. Was it a dream? That long-faded memory. Was it because of the incident with Chai Yilin? Did I dream about it again? She turned her head abruptly. A person was lying beside her. Seo Dokyum. Baek Yahi froze instantly. Seo Dokyum was sleeping soundly. His breathing was even. Baek Yahi was scared out of her wits. How'd he get here? Oh, right. I must have rolled off the bed during my nightmare. Seo Dokyum grunted softly and turned over. Baek Yahi gazed at his sleeping face. He's completely dead to the world. Can a little gangster be this defenseless? Even if I were kidnapped, he probably wouldn't. But his nature is actually very gentle. Now there's no reason for him to fall into darkness so early. Can he grow up normally? Perhaps. He could have a normal romance with a female lead and head toward the happy ending. That female lead is young Seo. Seo Dokyum slept peacefully, pillowed on his arm. Daylight broke. Sunlight spilled onto a white mansion. Seo Hyun looked stunned. Are you saying that Seo Dokyum and Baek Yae are sleeping together right now? Mr. Wu reported with a bow, his expression tense. Yes, sir. I confirm that his room is empty. Do Hyun was eating breakfast, his spoon hovering in midair. He was completely frozen. Seo Hyun flipped through the newspaper, his tone nonchalant. It's not like anything will happen just from sleeping together. They're getting engaged later anyway. Do Hyun slammed the table and stood up. Dad, are you still thinking about the engagement? She's only been here for 2 months. We should observe her for a while longer. Seo Hyun's gaze turned icy. On this matter, there is no reason to raise your voice. As long as both Seo Dokyum and Baek Yae are willing, that's all that matters. Do Hyun's face instantly flushed red. Why do I have no reason to raise my voice? What about my opinion? Seo Hyun raised a hand to stop him. Your opinion is certainly important, but the wishes of the parties involved are what's most important. We'll talk about this properly later. Do Hyun's hands trembled under the table. Ever since Baek Yae came, Dad has been on guard against me. He bit his lip, although she helped me out a lot recently. But if Dad listens to her and not me anymore, I absolutely won't be able to stand it. He abruptly pushed his chair back. Forget it. I have no appetite. I'll eat later. He turned and left. Seo Hyun watched his sons retreating back. Did I say something wrong? Or is it just puberty? Mr. Wu broke out in a cold sweat. From his second young master's perspective, he is surely worried about the first young master's marriage. Please, Chairman, try to understand his feelings. Thanks to Miss Baek Yae, the mansion isn't too gloomy after the Chai Yilin incident. Seo Hyun's gaze swept over the newspaper. Baek Yae's naivety is understandable, but he can't be like that. His etiquette lessons need to start over. Mr. Wu bowed slightly. I will arrange it. After the Chai Yilin incident, life returned to normal faster than expected. A line of black cars was parked in front of the mansion. Of course, security had become incredibly tight. Because of this, I gained a certain respect within the organization. They call me the one who protected the boss, the one who saved everyone with her intuition. Summer vacation ended and after-school tutoring began. Seo Dokyum started to openly take care of me. Seo Dokyum walked down the hallway, holding Baek Yae's hand. Baek Yae's cheeks were flushed. Are you going to keep holding my hand like this? As for Do Hyun, he no longer started childish arguments with me like before, but he still hadn't opened up his heart to me. What a picky guy. Oh well, I'll just have to be more understanding. Besides, the status window showed that the information on the White Tiger Gang has finally been updated. It should be fine for now. No news is good news. Baek Yae sat at the desk. She looked at Seo Dokyum. Are you listening? You have to review all the problems you got wrong today. You better study hard. You hear me? She mused. My experience as a tutor is coming in handy. If I can get him to study hard, maybe I can lead him down a different path. The chirping of cicadas echoed from outside the window. Baek Yae looked pleasantly surprised. Wow, the sound of cicadas. It really feels like summer. It's been so hot lately. Should we turn the AC to full blast? She looked around. It's so spacious and cool in here. Sunlight filtered through the green leaves. Baek Yae began softly. You know, I used to hate and fear summer. Dokyum stopped writing. Why? Baek Yae gave a faint smile. It's something from my childhood. I'm fine now. Dokyum leaned forward. What is it? I'm dying of curiosity. Tell me. Baek Yae lowered her eyelids. This is a story from my real world. Anyway, no one here knows me, so telling him should be fine. Her voice sank into memory. Actually, I was kidnapped when I was very young. That day, the kidnapper hid me in a small closet. A single sliver of light cut through the darkness, illuminating my terrified face. I don't know if it was the heat, but it felt stuffy and humid. A sense of suffocation gripped my throat. I thought I was going to die. She laughed, trying to sound casual. Maybe that moment was just too terrifying, so whenever summer comes, that's the only scene I remember. I've forgotten everything else. So whenever it's hot and I'm in a dark place, that my breathing. Baek Yae stopped abruptly, sensing something was wrong. Dokyum was suddenly gasping for air. He clutched his chest, his face contorted in pain, cold sweat pouring down. Baek Yae looked stunned. Dokyum's voice was faint. Help me. Baek Yae panicked. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? Dokyum gasped with difficulty. After listening to your story, Baek Yae was even more confused. What do you mean? Was my story too immersive? I'll go get Mr. Wu. Dokyum shook his head. Just stay like this. Baek Yae recalled how he had held her during her panic attack. The warmth of his shoulder, the pressure on her shoulder suddenly eased. She closed her eyes and hugged Seo Dokyum tightly. The hands of the clock on the wall swept silently past. Baek Yahi, Dot was sitting on the sofa, Dokium's head pillowed on her lap, his breathing steady. Baek Yahi asked softly, "Are you feeling better now?" This guy looked like he was about to die just a moment ago, and now he's asleep. My life is falling apart. Dokium muttered in his sleep, "That bastard. Should we go find him?" Baek Yahi leaned over. "Are you awake?" Dokium continued, "If it were me, I would have killed him long ago." Baek Yahi was slightly startled. What? Is he talking in his sleep? Such violent sleep talking. Could it be that he's angry on my behalf after hearing my story? Opening up to someone. So this is what it feels like. A furious roar shattered the peace. Baek Yahi, Do Hyun burst in. "What are you trying to do while my brother is asleep?" Baek Yahi looked completely innocent. "I didn't do anything." Do Hyun pointed at her. "Stop using your beauty trap on my innocent brother." Baek Yahi retorted, "Beauty trap? You think I'm beautiful? Didn't you say I was ugly before?" Seo Hyun and Mr. Wu were standing at the door. Mr. Wu remarked, "The children have gotten closer. How about we all go to the beach tomorrow? The young masters and young lady will surely love it." The setting sun bathed the white mansion. Do Hyun, wearing a basketball tank top, rubbed the back of his neck. "Let's just have ramen for dinner today." Baek Yahi suddenly popped her head out. "Are you looking for ramen?" Do Hyun walked into the kitchen. "Baek Yahi, what are you doing?" Baek Yahi, with her back to him, said, "Can't you tell?" On the stove was a packet of ramen, with an egg next to it. Baek Yahi announced, "Today, I am the ramen master." Do Hyun scoffed. "You say that as if you can actually make it taste good." Baek Yahi retorted, "Fine, don't eat it then. I need to eat quickly and go pack my things." Do Hyun was stunned. "Pack what things?" Baek Yahi was a little surprised. "You don't know yet? We're going to the beach tomorrow. Your dad, Yumi, Dot, and Seo Dokium." Do Hyun's eyes widened. "Why am I hearing this from you first?" Baek Yahi looked baffled. "You stormed out in a huff just now. That's why you missed your dad talking about it." Do Hyun roared. "You were the one who asked Dad first, weren't you? To go to the beach together." A hint of defiance appeared on Baek Yahi's face. "So what if I asked? Do you hate it that much? Even if I did ask, what can you do about it?" Do Hyun suddenly grabbed her shoulders. "Stop joking around. Are you doing this on purpose? Arranging a trip to the beach without telling me. Isn't it because you wanted to go? Don't hit me." Baek Yahi was getting dizzy from his shaking. "Hey, stop shaking me. How could I possibly decide something like that on my own?" Her hand reached towards the boiling pot. The pot tilted. Hot water splashed out. Baek Yahi let out a short cry. She tackled Do Hyun, shielding him with her own body. The scalding broth poured onto her back. Intense pain shot through her. Her back was instantly scalded red. Do Hyun pushed himself up and looked at Baek Yahi in his arms. His pupils trembled violently. "Sister Baek Yahi." A red light. On the screen, dazzling text flashed. "Hidden mission successful." The screen refreshed, displaying the mission's content. "Prevent Seo Do Hyun's death." Dokium stood alone in an empty hall. "Baek Yahi, where are you?" "I even booked out the entire department store." The sound of suppressed sobs came from deep down the hallway. Dokium's pupils contracted. He rushed forward. "Do Hyun, what's wrong?" Do Hyun's eyes were filled with tears. "I accidentally spilled boiling water." "Baek Yahi, she protected me." Do Hyun stammered incoherently. "I put some ice on it for her first." Dokium's expression was grave. He gave a decisive order. "Go get someone. We're going to the hospital immediately." Do Hyun nodded lightly. "Okay." Baek Yahi's voice came through. "Do Hyun, don't cry." Do Hyun rushed out of the room. "Dokium." He took Baek Yahi's hand and gently helped her up. "Don't move. Lean on my shoulder." His eyes were sharp. "Why on earth did you do that?" Baek Yahi's cheeks flushed. She lowered her eyelids. "I wasn't even thinking that he's your brother. My body just moved on its own." A sob escaped her throat. She bit her lip hard. Seo Dokium's breath hitched. He was stunned. He placed his fingers by Baek Yahi's mouth. "You'll hurt yourself if you keep biting. If it hurts, bite my fingers. It'll be better that way." Baek Yahi's face instantly flushed red. This person is crazy. It's like he's coaxing a child. She closed her eyes. He's the one overreacting. He's being too gentle. Mr. Wu rushed into the hallway with his men. "Miss, we'll take you there in the chairman's car." Seo Dokium gently stroked Baek Yahi's golden hair. He said softly, "You're enduring it well." Baek Yahi's heart trembled. "Even though our relationship has gotten better, if this continues, I'll get used to this gentleness." Do Hyun was curled up on the sofa. Mr. Wu stopped in front of him. "Young master." Do Hyun looked up, his eyes anxious. "Don't worry about me. Go to Sister Baek Yahi." Mr. Wu replied calmly. "She has already gone to the hospital with the chairman. You can rest assured. The chairman asked me to stay by your side and help you calm down." Co Do-hyun's cheeks instantly flushed. What? Mr. Wu continued to soothe him. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Do-hyun clutched his head with both hands. He broke down, questioning, why did she protect me? I was just taking my anger out on her because I was jealous that Dad cared more about her. Mr. Wu's hand rested on his shoulder. Young master. Do-hyun buried his face in his hands, anguished. I must be crazy. I don't care if I get a scar, but she must be in so much pain. Baek Yahi lay on the hospital bed. It was silent. She suddenly opened her eyes and looked around. This is a hospital. She wiggled her fingers. The treatment was fast. It doesn't hurt anymore. She gazed out the window. A luxurious private room. So extravagant even at a time like this. She looked at her right hand. It felt a little strange. Co Do-kyum was slumped over by the bed, holding Baek Yahi's hand. You haven't left this whole time? Co Do-kyum raised his head. Baek Yahi looked at him. You don't have to stay here and watch over me. I'll feel bad. She mused. He's once again staying by my side, as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Co Do-kyum lowered his gaze. The emergency treatment is done. The doctor said you need to be hospitalized for a while. His voice dropped, but might leave a small scar. I'm sorry. Baek Yahi shook her head. This was my choice. You have nothing to be sorry for. To say she didn't care at all would be a lie. The person I like in the future might think it's ugly when they see it. Co Do-kyum leaned forward abruptly. Then don't date someone who would think that. Baek Yahi was stunned. What? Do I need your permission to get a boyfriend now? Co Do-kyum looked at her as if it were obvious. Of course. Baek Yahi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Are you my dad or my brother? You're really acting like a big brother. Co Do-kyum was expressionless. A screen of light unfolded before his eyes. The punk Co Do-kyum is satisfied with the reaction of supporting character Baek Yahi. Satisfied. Baek Yahi stretched her arms, pretending to move around. My arms are so stiff from lying down for so long. She reached out and swiped open the screen. Now's the time. The words on the screen seared into her eyes. Accumulated 717 times. The punk Co Do-kyum feels nauseous. Please be aware of long-term nausea accumulation. Baek Yahi's expression froze. I saw this when we were shopping, too. Upon seeing supporting character Baek Yahi, the punk Co Do-kyum has felt nauseous and accumulated 17 times. So you feel nauseous every time you see me? But that nauseous feeling doesn't seem negative. There's no hostility at all. But to say it's because you like me would be too much of an exaggeration. Co Do-kyum interrupted her thoughts. Anyway, you stay in hospital for now. I'll come visit you often. Baek Yahi was stunned. Then what about the beach? Co Do-kyum shot her a look. In this state, you're still thinking about the beach? The beach plan is on hold for now. Baek Yahi swallowed dryly. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's fine if I go for a walk. Co Do-kyum lowered his gaze. Just be good and listen. The beach isn't going anywhere. He suddenly pinched Baek Yahi's cheek. Baek Yahi froze. Co Do-kyum was expressionless. Don't make weird noises. Baek Yahi's cheeks flushed. What? She yelled. Why are you pinching someone's mouth for no reason? A knock sounded. Baek Yahi looked towards the door. Is that Uncle Co Hyun? She immediately broke into a smile. Kumein. Co Hyun pushed the door open. I heard everything. It really gave me a scare. Baek Yahi apologized awkwardly. I'm sorry. Co Hyun immediately replied. I'm the one who should be apologizing. Thankfully, the injury isn't serious. His hand gently stroked Baek Yahi's hair. I've arranged for the best medical team. Don't worry too much about a scar. Baek Yahi beamed. I'm just very grateful. Like a jade beauty. Co Do-kyum suddenly grabbed Baek Yahi's hospital gown. He spun her around abruptly. Baek Yahi cried out as she fell into his arms. Warning, the punk Co Do-kyum's abnormal status has been unlocked. Possessiveness and obsession have increased. Values undisclosed. Co Hyun's lips curled into a smile. You want to protect her that much, huh? Co Do-kyum tightened his arms. After all, she saved my little brother. Of course I have to take special care of her. Baek Yahi's body was completely rigid. Abnormal status? Someone save me. Co Hyun watched Co Do-kyum. Of course, he has to pay special attention to her. What kind of bombshell declaration is this? It's practically an immediate engagement. Shock spread across Baek Yahi's face. She struggled hard and moved back a little. What's with this collar? She turned to Co Hyun by the bedside and forced a weary smile. Uncle, I'd like to rest a bit. Co Hyun nodded. I'll take my leave then. He turned and left. Co Do-kyum watched everything coldly. Baek Yahi could only give an awkward, dry laugh. A few days later, Korea University Hospital. Baek Yahi's cheeks were flushed, her eyes sparkling with happiness. So delicious. She leaned back on the hospital bed, surrounded by snacks and chocolates. This leisurely and comfortable hospital life is the best. Dokyum brought her eel rice and snacks. Life in a mansion was luxurious, but here, she just had to lie down and someone would wait on her. Pure bliss. She fell back happily. I really want to live like this forever. Her thoughts suddenly grew heavy. Lately, I think I've gotten used to the feeling of being taken care of. This is something I could never have imagined in my real world. But these people can't be my companions in the end. She suddenly rolled over. Stop thinking about it, Baek Yahi. You can't cross the line just because it's comfortable. Dokyum pushed open the hospital room door. Baek Yahi, I'm here. Baek Yahi was a little surprised. You're early. Dokyum dangled the bag in his hand. Let's go. Let's go eat out. Under the courtyard pavilion. A steaming bowl of seafood soup. Baek Yahi's eyes lit up. Wow, it looks so delicious. She picked up her utensils. Thank you for the meal. Want to eat together? Do-hyun shook his head. No, it's okay. I'm not eating. He handed her a bottle of water. I'll put the water here. Baek Yahi nodded. Thank you. Do-hyun's gaze fell upon her. Baek Yahi was enjoying her food. She looked up, puzzled. What's wrong? Do-hyun. He feels very sorry, Dokyum explained. Baek Yahi froze. Is that so? I was a little disappointed he didn't come, but thinking about his personality, I can understand. Dokyum reached into his pocket. He took out his phone. It was a message from Do-hyun. Hyung, you're not nearby right now, are you? The door to room 901 was pushed open. On the nameplate was Baek Yahi's name. Do-hyun walked in, carrying something. While she's eating with his brother, I have to slip away quickly. He gently placed the item on the table. No matter how I think about it, I still don't have the courage. I'll apologize properly after I can face her. Baek Yahi's voice sounded from the doorway. Oh, isn't this? CEO Do-hyun's body froze on the spot. He looked shocked. How'd you get back? Where's my brother? Baek Yahi answered calmly. He left after he saw me finish eating. Her gaze fell on the cake box. Wow, this is from that famous cake shop. Did you buy it? CEO Do-hyun's expression faltered. Baek Yahi was all smiles. I thought I wouldn't get to see you at all while I was hospitalized. So you do surprise attacks too. CEO Do-hyun's cheeks flushed. He averted his gaze. It's not like that. I was just passing by. Baek Yahi interrupted him. I'm so glad you came. I'm happy to see you. CEO Do-hyun clenched his jaw tightly. Mr. Wu placed a hand on his shoulder. Young master, this world is cruel, but no one deserves to be hurt or to die. Sometimes, emotions save a precious person before profit and logic. That's just how it is. Do-hyun lifted his tear-filled eyes. A precious person? How long have we even known her? But she was able to immediately. Mr. Wu continued. That young lady also carries the pain of losing her family. She was the first to open her heart to this family. At first, I also found her to be a stranger, but now I am grateful. Don't you feel the same way, young master? Perhaps this is what's called a special bond. The chairman also left a message. Do-hyun looked up sharply. My father? What did he say? Mr. Wu imitated the chairman's gentle tone. To my beloved son, the sea that Do-hyun loves. Let's go together next year. Do-hyun closed his eyes. Tears streamed down his face. He suddenly dropped to his knees. Yihaenona, I'm sorry. Baek Yahi looked astonished. Do-hyun raised his teary eyes. You're gonna have a scar because of me. I'm so sorry. Baek Yahi crouched down in front of him. The treatment went well. It won't be very noticeable. When I had no credibility at all, thank you for opening your heart to me. Tears streamed from Do-hyun's eyes. Thank you for caring about me. Baek Yahi looked at him gently. Don't cry. I knew you would. She opened her arms and gently pulled Do-hyun into a hug. Hidden mission complete. Do-hyun's favorability has been achieved. He will become my strongest ally. A hidden mission suddenly popped up. Baek Yahi froze. Do-hyun's favorability is maxed out. His death has been prevented. The hospital's rooftop garden. The sunlight was perfect. Baek Yahi was in an excellent mood. That little rascal Do-hyun has finally opened up. I'm so grateful to the CEO family. She raised her phone. I'm on the rooftop now. The photo was sent. The other person instantly replied with a question mark. Immediately after, messages flooded in. Going out is dangerous. Is no one with you? She quickly replied. Someone is with me. I'm waiting here. CEO Dokyum's reaction startled her. She recalled the argument with the guard. The guard was stubborn enough, but CEO Dokyum was truly on another level. But is a hospital rooftop really that dangerous? The phone screen lit up. It was a message from Do-hyun. Starting tomorrow, I'll do better. Baek Yahi smiled at the cute sticker. This kid is quite proactive. A little cute. Forget it. Her thoughts returned to the mission. Will they keep appearing from now on? If that's the case, I need to come up with a plan. The red hair tie, holding her hair, quietly slipped off. The hair tie landed at someone's feet. A patient wearing glasses bent down and picked it up. He walked towards Bekyahi, smiling and holding it out. You dropped something? Bekyahi was startled. She touched her loosened hair. When did it fall? She took the hair tie. Thank you very much. The patient with glasses waved his hand. It's nothing. Are you a patient here too? Bekyahi nodded. Yes. The patient with glasses laughed. Ha! I knew it. He spoke enthusiastically. I thought I'd seen you in the rooftop garden. Want to sit for a while? I'm Kim Chang-soo. What's your name? He patted the seat next to him. Bekyahi hesitated slightly. I'm Bekyahi. Nice to meet you, Chang-soo. She mused. This extroverted personality. The social speed is too fast. I introduced myself without thinking. But this guy has a perfectly generic face. The two sat on the bench. Kim Chang-soo's tone softened. Yihai, I'm sorry. Did I startle you? It's just that. I don't have many family or friends visiting. I get happy when I see some of my age. Bekyahi turned her face to the side. It's okay. You must be very lonely. I know that feeling. A guard poked his head out from the bushes. Miss, it's time. Bekyahi was suddenly startled. She stood up. Chang-soo, I'm sorry, I have to go. Kim Chang-soo looked disappointed. So soon? What a shame. Bekyahi turned and waved. Anyway, I'll be hospitalized for a while longer. Let's talk again next time we meet on the rooftop. Is this some kind of solidarity event for side characters? Kim Chang-soo watched her go. He waved with a cheerful tone. Okay, see you. Bekyahi hurried away. Kim Chang-soo slowly took off his glasses. The gentle disguise faded with them. He ran a hand back through his hair. The glasses were placed on the bench. I'll be waiting here. A woman's voice came from the phone. Did you meet that kid? Kim Chang-soo sat on the stairs. He took off his glasses, holding them in his hand. A resume lay on the step by his feet. Yeah, she's cuter in person. He lowered his head. Do I really have to play along with a kid like that? The other end of the line was silent for a moment. Unless you want to back out. The chairman wants our White Tiger gang to build an interesting relationship. Kim Chang-soo held the phone closer to his ear. That's right, the woman on the phone continued. We need to find a weakness that can shake him. Find a string we can pull. Kim Chang-soo's expression turned cold. Prepare the next step according to the plan. There was a brief silence on the other end. Are you really going to do it? Kim Chang-soo retorted. What's wrong? Is there a problem? Chai Yilin stood by the window. Her tone was icy. If you dare touch a single hair on that kid's head, it's all over. This might succeed in getting Co. Hyun's attention, but it could come at a price. For that alone, he might come for you immediately. Kim Chang-soo chuckled. Well, that would be interesting. I'm hanging up, said Chai Yilin. Kim Chang-soo was stunned. Just kidding. He looked at his phone screen, a smile playing on his lips. The sunlight in the courtyard was perfect. Bekyahi was on a bench in her pajamas. She held up a tarot card. The card showed 3 wolves. She let out a long sigh. Last night, on the courtyard bench, Chang-soo held a deck of cards. He looked at Bekyahi. Can this card predict the future? Bekyahi smiled and explained, my brother bought it for me, but he never plays with me. Chang-soo picked up the instruction manual. It's my first time playing. Let me take a look first. Bekyahi nodded. Take your time. Her thoughts drifted. I wanted to go with the flow and become independent, but something feels off. The appearance of a new mission means saving Uncle Hyun. It's not the first time. And it won't be the last. At the time, I just thought Co. Dokyum was overreacting. But that status effect might not be temporary. Am I being too sensitive? After all, the class mission was hidden from the start. Chang-soo suddenly leaned closer to her, having quickly finished the manual. Yahi, I get it now. Go ahead and draw a card. Bekyahi snapped back to reality. She looked at the cards Chang-soo had spread out. Oh, really? She smiled and drew a card. Then I'll take this one. She looked down at the card. It showed 3 wolves surrounding a small dog. What does this mean? Chang-soo explained, there are people around you who are unwilling to let go. Whether their embrace is warm or not depends on you. Bekyahi looked down at the card in her hand. This tarot card is a little too accurate. Do-hyen's voice suddenly came from behind her. What's accurate? Bekyahi turned around, astonished. When did you get here? Do-hyen frowned slightly. If you're not in your room, you're on the roof. Geez, how can a patient run around everywhere? Bekyahi burst out laughing. She reached out and ruffled Do-hyen's hair. You're that worried about me, huh? Do-hyen's cheeks flushed. Do you think I'm a kid? I'm taller than you now. Co. Dokyum suddenly appeared, locking Do-hyen in a headlock. Do-hyen struggled, shouting Hyung. Co. Dokyum questioned her with a chilling aura. Why were you touching a grown man like that? Bekyahi hurriedly explained. It's just a little game between us. That look again. Dokyum released Do-hyen. He lightly tapped Bekyahi's forehead with his finger. Get ready to be discharged tomorrow. When you wake up, pack your things and come straight out. Bekyahi was a little surprised. So early? Do-hyun explained. Hyung and I both have to attend the company's shareholder meeting early tomorrow morning. CEO Do-kyum turned to Baek Yahi. So tomorrow, you'll come to the company with the staff who'll be waiting for you. Wait for us in the lounge, and then we'll go home together. Baek Yahi was speechless. Why me? Is this future daughter-in-law training? This is too much. I can go back by myself. Her words trailed off halfway. CEO Do-kyum's fingers gently caressed her neck. Baek Yahi, have you forgotten? He stared at her. I'm the one who put the collar on you. A red alert flashed before Baek Yahi's eyes. Punk CEO Do-kyum's obsession level is too high. Baek Yahi's face turned red. A collar is for someone like you. That night, Baek Yahi lay on her hospital bed. I can finally be discharged tomorrow. I at least want to say goodbye to Chang-soo. I didn't get to see him or talk to him today. I have to say hello tomorrow morning. He's a lonely person in this world. The hospital room clock ticked, its hands moving toward midnight. Emergency main quest activated. Uncover Chang-soo's identity before dawn. Kim Yin-chul, success reward. Infinite trust from CEO Do-kyum. The easy life is over. Hard mode activated. Warning, hard mode may lead to direct death. Baek Yahi tossed and turned in her sleep, her brow furrowed. This message will self-destruct in 3 seconds. Early morning in the hospital room. The luggage was packed. Baek Yahi suddenly turned back. She looked at her reflection in the mirror. A faint red mark had appeared on her back, like an angel's wing. Is this a tattoo? A man's voice came from outside the door. Miss, I'm here to pick you up. Baek Yahi was startled. She quickly pulled her clothes tight. Yes, please wait a moment. She opened the door. Good morning. It's a new face. There are so many people in the organization. At the door was a man in a suit and sunglasses. He spoke with a blank expression. I need to get the luggage, so I'm coming in. Baek Yahi replied, subconsciously. Yes. The man in the suit walked into the room and picked up the suitcase. Baek Yahi stopped him. By the way, I have a request. Can I go see someone? Just for a moment. She gave an appeasing smile. If you're worried, you can come with me. His name is Chang-soo. Before she could finish, a sharp impact came from behind. Kim Jin-chul caught the limp body of Baek Yahi. He muttered to himself, I didn't think I'd have to be this rough. You'll be able to rest well soon. Cha Yilin took off her mask. Sorry for using force. The drug's effect was delayed. But you're not hurt, are you? Baek Yahi's consciousness was fading. She gasped with difficulty. That voice. Kim Jin-chul asked, what about the people outside? Cha Yilin replied, I had to temporarily knock them out again. A bodyguard was told to keep his mouth shut, tied to a toilet. On the floor were empty syringes and a puddle of drugs. Kim Jin-chul continued, not many people. Inexperienced, easy to handle. The discharge procedures were processed normally. The hospital won't raise any alarms. CEO Hyun should be at the shareholder meeting right now. By the time he finds out, it'll be too late. Baek Yahi's body couldn't move. What's happening? My eyelids are so heavy. She let out a soft groan. Kim Jin-chul looked down at her. Sleep well, Baek Yahi. He took off his sunglasses, a smile playing on his lips. Let's go a little further together. Baek Yahi was curled up in a dark corner, her body trembling uncontrollably. So cold. Am I locked up? She buried her head in her arms. I thought this would never happen again. Why always? Tears slid down her cheeks. Suppressed sobs echoed in the darkness. The door was suddenly thrown open. A blinding light flooded in. Who? Where? Baek Yahi slowly looked up. How'd you think of this place? CEO Do-kyum looked down at her, extending a hand. Inside the car. Baek Yahi's eyes shot open. Kim Jin-chul glanced at her, a mocking smile on his lips. You were sleeping so soundly, I didn't have the heart to wake you. Baek Yahi recognized that face. You're that organization member from before. I remember everything now. Her mind raced. So the voice I heard back then was Cha Yilin's. Crap, I have to escape immediately. Cha Yilin grabbed Baek Yahi's arm. Where are you going? Baek Yahi struggled. Why are you doing this? Let me go. Kim Jin-chul chuckled and tilted his head. Let's be a little gentler with her this time. Baek Yahi looked at him in terror. Who are you? Kim Jin-chul's smile was meaningful. Have you forgotten me already? After all, we have the memory of me picking up your hair tie for you. He put on a pair of glasses. Miss Baek Yahi. Baek Yahi's pupils contracted sharply. Kim Shang-soo. Cha Yilin looked impatient. Boss, are you going to play that childish role-playing game again? Baek Yahi cried out in astonishment. What? Boss. A system warning exploded in her mind. Side character Baek Yahi's personal information has been exposed to the young master of the White Tiger Gang. Baek Yahi's thoughts flashed back. Could it be that the person I saw then? She pointed at Kim Jin-chul. You're from the White Tiger Gang. Kim Jin-chul snapped his fingers. Correct. A scream tore through the air in the car. Beck Yahi clutched her head, her body curling up in fear. She started frantically kicking the front seat. Lunatics, let me out of the car. Let me out now. What do you want with me? What can you possibly change by kidnapping someone like me? I finally transmigrated into someone else, only to be an orphan and the fiancé of a mafia family. I'm threatened with death all day. I got burned, and now I've even been kidnapped. Kim Jinchul stopped her. Classmate Yahi, this seat is expensive. Calm down. Beck Yahi roared. What does that have to do with me? Chai Yilin rested her chin on her hand, a look of amusement in her eyes. Miss, you're full of surprises. I thought you'd start crying the moment you woke up. Beck Yahi glared at Chai Yilin. What's the use of crying? You guys almost got me killed. Chai Yilin looked at her. You sensed the danger early on. That's a bit of a shame. Since you have that kind of intuition, why were you fooled by the fake Changsu? Beck Yahi lowered her head. Because I felt a useless sense of kindness. Anyway, don't treat me like a heroine who only knows how to cry. I'll tell Mr. C.O. Hien everything afterward. Chai Yilin turned her face, her expression thoughtful. Do you trust C.O. Hien that much? Beck Yahi's gaze was firm. Yes, I trust him completely. As long as no one betrays him first, he won't change. So if you want to live, you'd better let me go quickly. Chai Yilin let out a scoffing laugh. Strange. In the office at night, Chai Yilin sat in front of the computer, the sound of typing incessant. It's too strange. A news article was displayed on the screen. SL Group meets with overseas buyers. The day my parents died, C.O. Hien's schedule was clear. She covered her face with her hands, letting out a weary sigh. Her eyes were filled with confusion and unwillingness. What did I miss? The black car drove across the sea bridge. Outside the window was the ocean. Beck Yahi stared into the distance. We promised we'd see it together. But now I'm all alone. A phone rang. C.O. Hien's name lit up the screen. Kim Jinchul looked at Beck Yahi. Of course you can answer it. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you say you've been kidnapped. Beck Yahi's fingertip hesitated over the screen. What are they really trying to do? But if I don't answer, everyone will be more worried. She pressed the answer button and held the phone to her ear. Uncle, C.O. Hien's voice came from the other end. Yahi, are you okay? Beck Yahi's eyes instantly turned red. Tears welled up. C.O. Hien's voice continued. Don't cry. Beck Yahi looked aggrieved. I'm really so sorry. I was taken in an instant. C.O. Hien's voice came through the receiver. It's not your fault. We're tracking your location. I'm sorry. Just hold on a little longer. Beck Yahi's tears fell. Sir, why are you apologizing? She gripped the phone, her cheeks flushed. I'm by the sea right now, the place we promised to come to together. We have to come see the sea together next year. She held back her tears, the corners of her mouth lifting slightly. She let out a soft laugh mixed with a sob. The voice on the other end of the line suddenly changed. C.O. Dokium had taken the phone. His voice was low and clear. Beck Yahi. His voice was cold. The moment I see you, I will get you out immediately. And then, even if you beg me to let go, it's useless. Beck Yahi's whole body stiffened. What? Is he trying to save me or kill me with his own hands? She let out a scream, lunging frantically at Chai Yilin. Take me anywhere. The farther away from him, the better. I have to escape. Inside the car, Dokium looked ahead. Father was right. He's with those two groups. He gritted his teeth. Why did it have to be Beck Yahi? C.O. Hien's eyes were cold. Once you step into this world, it's fate for the people you hold dear to be threatened. Do Hyun's teeth made a grinding sound. That kind of fate. His eyes turned cold. I don't want to lose anyone for that kind of reason again. Do Hyun agreed. Hyung is right. Me too. C.O. Hien's gaze was firm. One thing is certain. They absolutely cannot touch her. Murderous intent appeared on Dokium's face. If they touch her, we'll bury them all. The car drove towards the port. Countless shipping containers were stacked like mountains. Beck Yahi was shoved violently into a dark space. She fell heavily to the ground, crying out in pain. Chai Yilin appeared at the door. Miss, sorry, it'll be a bit hot, but please stay put. Beck Yahi looked up in terror. I won't run. I'll stay still. Please let me stay outside. I have claustrophobia. The iron door slammed shut in front of her. The lock clicked into place. Beck Yahi pounded desperately on the door. I'll really die. I'm not lying. She curled up on the floor, her body trembling uncontrollably. Childhood memories she thought were long forgotten swallowed her once more. Damn it, I never should have gotten involved with that bastard. Beck Yahi collapsed on the ground, her body convulsing from the trauma. A A system warning sounded in her mind. Side character Baek Yahi's life is threatened. A new system prompt sounded. Sudden quest. Escape from the predicament. Success will increase Do-hyen's favorability and grant infinite protection from Dokium. Failure does not guarantee survival. Baek Yahi lay on the ground, her breathing faint. I'm about to die, and you're giving me this kind of mission? Make the correct choice to obtain an item. Option 1. I will become strong for you. Option 2. I am smarter than you. Baek Yahi was dizzy. What is this now? Why are these dating sim-like options suddenly popping up? She fell into thought. A system prompt appeared before her eyes. If you choose correctly, you may be able to meet the one behind the status window. Yahi slowly sat up. Who is this person you're talking about? Is there someone behind the status window? She stared at the screen. Fine. Since you keep provoking me, I'll play along. Who should I choose? At a time like this, it has to be Uncle Seo-hyen, right? He's the only adult, after all. Seo Dokium's cold face suddenly flashed in her mind. Wash your neck and wait. Baek Yahi made up her mind. It's Uncle. Her fingertip touched the screen, selecting Seo-hyen. The screen burst with a bright light. Within the light, a black handgun materialized out of thin air. Baek Yahi's pupils contracted. That gun is Yang Seol's gun. It's the one the female lead used when she headed for her tragic ending. She picked up the gun, giving this to me now on purpose. Are you trying to make me repeat her mistakes? Baek Yahi's cheeks flushed. What a joke. Even knowing Yang Seol's fate, I would never do that. She gripped the handgun. Fine. I have to survive no matter what. I'm not like her. This little crisis isn't enough to drive me to tragedy. She raised the gun with both hands, aiming at the door. The slide clicked crisply after the muzzle flashed. The recoil slammed into Baek Yahi's shoulder. The gunshot was so muffled. The door was destroyed. The gun in her hand emitted a pink light. The gun's body began to disintegrate. Baek Yahi watched in astonishment. Thank God I'm still alive. She pressed her eye to the crack in the door, peeking outside. Have they all arrived? The docks under the night sky. Containers towered like walls. Dozens of men in black stood in a tense standoff. Seo-hyen, Seo Dokium, and Seo Do-hyen stood at the very front. The three of them really came. Do-hyen, that coward is always scared. It's okay. Nuna is still alive. She stared intently at Seo Dokium's cold profile. He's not thinking of burying someone here, is he? Please no. She resolved that she had to figure out the situation first. To survive, I have to get out of here right now. She pushed open the container door. I'll go over to the bridge and hide quietly, then meet up with Seo Dokium. A truck was parked not far away. In the driver's seat, Chai Yilin tilted her head slightly. Wait a minute. He looked in the rearview mirror. Reflected in it was the back of Baek Yahi as she ran. Baek Yahi, how did you escape? A smile touched the corner of his mouth. You're really something. The more I look, the more I think you have a talent for this. You're really not like an ordinary female lead. In that case, let's watch a little longer. Seo-hyen faced Kim Yin-cheol. He asked in a cold voice, what do you really want from me? Kim Yin-cheol posed this. Before he could finish, a loud bang. A bald bodyguard grabbed Baek Yahi. How did you get out? The boss is still talking. Get back inside. Baek Yahi's heart sank. It's over. I've been caught. The bald bodyguard held her down. Please, just stay inside. Baek Yahi struggled. I said I don't want to. What should I do now? A dark figure flashed by. Seo Dokium's fist smashed into the bald bodyguard's face. The bodyguard grunted. Baek Yahi fell to the ground and looked up. Seo Dokium. Seo Dokium kicked the bald bodyguard, who screamed as he flew through the air and crashed heavily onto the ground. Baek Yahi looked up, her vision blurred by tears. Why now, of all times? Seo Dokium looked down at her, his voice icy. What are you crying for? What did those bastards do to you? Tell me, and I'll go slaughter them. Baek Yahi trembled all over. No, it's not that. I just feel relieved seeing you. Seo Dokium reached out and gently cupped her face. Baek Yahi, you were really terrified. I'm sorry. Tears rolled down Baek Yahi's cheeks. She leaned against Seo Dokium's palm. I was so scared. The tears broke through like a dam. She sobbed uncontrollably. The shadows of the past had returned. Seo Dokium lowered his gaze, listening in silence. He suddenly pulled Baek Yahi into his arms. It's okay now. It's all right. It's all over. A warning window flashed into existence. From now on, Seo Dokium's obsession level will rise. Baek Yahi's body stiffened. So, status window, who are you really? A dead silence fell between the shipping containers. Seo-hyen looked down at the fallen men in black. He let out a breath. The guys from the White Tiger group are tougher than I thought. In the driver's seat of the truck, Chai Yilin watched quietly. Kim Jin-cheol's voice came through. Wow, you're really something. Can we talk? Seo Hyun turned back. Are you trying to explain yourself? Why pull such a childish hostage stunt? And with our child, no less. In the back seat of the car, Baek Yahi lay with vacant eyes. Do Hyun and Mr. Woo were in the front. The car was dead silent. Seo Dokyum was leaning against the car body, his eyes cold. A slight smile played on Kim Jinchul's lips. I wanted to threaten you. To be more precise, it was for a trade. That student named Baek Yahi. Is she really that important? Important enough for me to risk my entire organization? It's this curiosity that drives me. I need Baek Yahi as bait for our deal. Seo Hyun spoke. What are the terms of the deal? Kim Jinchul stood up. Give up the new headquarters project. Seo Hyun's expression froze. What? Kim Jinchul's fingertips lightly touched his tie. I want to know just how important that student, Baek Yahi, is to the Myeongmun group. To you. Prove it to me now. Give up the new headquarters project, one of your core businesses. I promise I won't touch Baek Yahi again. Or you can just wait for her to go through this again. Seo Hyun glanced over the bodies on the ground, his gaze returning to Kim Jinchul. With so many people lying at your feet, you've got some nerve. You should know by now that I'm not someone to be trifled with. Kim Jinchul sudenli piresit kolosiv. If there's a next time, I will be requesting your cooperation. Seo Hyun said, isn't that a threat? Kim Jinchul revealed a sly smile. That's right. You should have felt it. I'm making a rather difficult proposal. He turned his head, a smile on his lips. Take your time to consider it. I'll be waiting. Well then, be careful on your way. Seo Dokyum appeared behind him. We're not done talking. Seo Hyun looked shocked. Seo Dokyum, since when were you? Seo Dokyum's eyes were icy. You're going to pay the price today. Kim Jinchul turned his head to the side, his face stained with blood, but still smiling. Don't hate me too much. I never intended to hurt you. Take good care of student Baek Yahi for me. A beam of light pierced the darkness. Baek Yahi let out a light groan. So bright. Where's this? She propped herself up, kneeling in a spotlight. What's going on? I was just at the seaside. A pink window appeared out of thin air. You're awake. Baek Yahi's pupils dilated, her face a mask of shock. A young girl walked out of the light. It's me. Baek Yahi took a step forward, her voice trembling. Who are you? The system snapped its fingers. A virtual screen appeared. Beginner's tutorial completed. Prologue successfully cleared. Baek Yahi muttered to herself. Beginner's tutorial? Her pupils contracted. What does prologue mean? The system's tone was flat. It means exactly what it says. Everything you've experienced so far was just the prologue. That was a pretty difficult stage, but you survived. Baek Yahi's body froze instantly. A bitter smile touched her lips. The system opened its palm. Digital points of light gathered in its palm. Congratulations. You've conquered not just Seo Dokyum, but the entire Seo family. That wasn't easy. Baek Yahi looked at its hand. Her heart skipped a beat. 3 virtual figures made of pink light slowly formed in its palm. The system asked, what's your secret? Baek Yahi's body stiffened. What did you say? She retorted loudly. Do you think I was just playing a capture game? That I saw the Seo family's kindness as just program values? Maybe at first, but I've long since started treating everyone with sincerity. She clenched her fists. Dokyum, Do Hyun, and Uncle Seo Hyun. They must have opened their hearts to me because of that. Not because of the system's favorability, but because of real sincerity. The system rested its chin on one hand, looking down at Baek Yahi. Is that so? All right, I'll admit you were sincere, but that's meaningless. What can sincerity change? It won't make you a real family. Baek Yahi's expression froze. Her hands clenched, knuckles trembling with anger. Are you finished? Are you trying to piss me off? She roared and charged at the system. Living, breathing people are right in front of me, talking. Why do you have to tell me not to get invested? Even if you didn't say it, I already knew. She slammed a fist on the window. I've been desperately lying this whole time. Isn't it natural to get emotionally invested? The system's expression faltered slightly. I didn't mean to provoke you like that. Calm down. Let's talk properly. Baek Yahi's anger hadn't subsided. Since we're face to face, let's get this straight. What are you? Who are you? The question mark pattern on the system's chest flickered. Fine. If you want to know, I'll tell you who I am. My name is Player. You've probably guessed. I've been observing you. Not just watching you quietly. I can also read your thoughts. I can influence mission buffs and debuffs, but not 100. Baek Yahi cried out, what? What about my privacy? The system's voice came through the darkness. But more than that, you should be more curious about something else. The reason I summoned you in the first place, I have an urgent wish. That is to let the protagonists have a truly happy ending. To let the female lead and the male lead be happy together. Cold sweat beaded on Baek Yahi's forehead. This is exactly what I expected. But why does it sound so heavy? The system took a step forward. It's not strange. Don't you wish for the same thing when you play games? As a person with abilities, you are the best candidate to fulfill this wish. It suddenly leaned in, scrutinizing Beck Yahi's face. But what's with that expression? Don't tell me you've fallen for Co Dokium. Beck Yahi's cheeks flushed instantly. Her breath hitched. Her pupils trembled violently. Do I like him? The memory of embracing Co Dokium shattered her mind. Really? I don't know. I've been alone for too long. Maybe I'm just confusing my feelings. The system's voice was cold and sharp. Think carefully, Beck Yahi. Can you really handle a romance plotline with Co Dokium? Even if you open his heart, wasn't it precisely because you stuck to your role as a supporting character? The words stung Beck Yahi. She asked with a trembling voice, then what do you want me to do? The system's voice rang out. It's simple. Ensure we can have a happy ending. Beck Yahi spun around abruptly. A happy ending? The system held up a virtual screen. Images of Co Dokium and Unseol appeared. A happy ending that everyone can accept. To achieve this, we need to adjust the gangster male lead's intensity. You've prevented deaths and accidents, changing many things. But Co Dokium's abnormal status hasn't stopped. For example, his paranoia and his violence. If you ignore my request, you will die. And Co Dokium will also meet a tragic end. Beck Yahi mused, for a happy ending that never existed in the original work. Adjusting Co Dokium's behavior is my ultimate mission. I was once jealous of his and Unseol's love, even willing to sacrifice myself, just to see them happy. She took a deep breath and finally made up her mind. All right, I accept. I sincerely hope everyone can be happy. The system smiled faintly. Very good. You've made the right choice. And don't be too sad. I'll give you a reward you like later. Beck Yahi suddenly rushed forward and grabbed the system by the collar. She glared at it. Speaking of which, you've got some nerve. You said you'd appear if I saved Uncle. What's with showing up only now? Are you even doing your job properly? All you do is use my face to mock me. The system was shaken by her. It tried to break free. Sorry. Want to change the reward? Beck Yahi let go. Forget that. Promise me now. You can observe, but you're not allowed to read my mind anymore. The system's body began to flicker with static. The connection seems to be unstable. Let's end it here for today. Beck Yahi shouted. At least leave a mission or some spoilers. A gentle voice called out Beck Yahi. Beck Yahi lay on the bed, her brow slightly furrowed, letting out a muffled sound. That voice called again Beck Yahi. Beck Yahi's eyelids fluttered. She slowly opened them. The figure of Co Dokium came into view. He asked softly, "Are you awake?" Beck Yahi's gaze focused on Co Dokium. Co Dokium looked at her. You look like you were having a nightmare. Do-hyun rushed to the bedside. Sister, if you're tired, sleep some more. Beck Yahi looked at the three people surrounding her. Do-hyun, Uncle, is everyone here? Her hand trembled slightly. I was so scared. Co Dokium's gaze softened. It's good that you're back safe. I was really worried. He reached out and gently stroked Beck Yahi's hair. Beck Yahi's body stiffened, her cheeks instantly warming. Thank you. She sat up abruptly. Wait, weren't you guys fighting at the seaside? It looked brutal. Do-hyun immediately reassured her. Don't worry. You don't need to worry about things like that. We've handled it. Father and the organization members took care of it. Co Hyun sighed lightly. What happened today was my fault. I should have been more careful in protecting you. The White Tiger faction wanted to publicly kidnap you to make an example of us. It's just a small business dispute. You don't need to worry about it. Beck Yahi lowered her eyes. But why me? Co Hyun answered, because they found out you're one of my people. Beck Yahi's pupils contracted. What? A virtual screen popped up before her eyes. Beginner's tutorial completed. Co family favorability has reached its maximum. Has been activated. Dokium explained if you're in danger, our family would never sit by and watch. They knew that, which is why they forcibly kidnapped you. A tear slid down her cheek. So that's how it was. Then, am I your family? Is that why you were worried I'd get hurt? Co Hyun nodded. Yes, you are family under my protection. Tears streamed from her eyes. Beck Yahi clutched her chest, trembling uncontrollably. I always thought this was something I would never have. We're not related by blood, and we've only known each other for such a short time. Co Dokium gazed at her, his voice low and firm. Don't cry. I promise I won't make you cry again in the future. Our whole family cherishes you very much. Beck Yahi's tears flowed even harder. Co Dokium looked confused. Did I say something wrong? Why are you crying even more? Beck Yahi buried her head in his arms, her face pressed against his shoulder, tears soaking his shirt. She said in a muffled voice, No, I'm just so grateful. Co Dokium asked, Aren't you hungry? You haven't eaten in a long time. Beck Yahi's cheeks reddened. She responded softly, I'm a little hungry. Do-hyun shouted from the doorway. Sister, brother, what are you two doing? It's so cheesy. Seo-hyun stood to the side with a gratified smile on his face. Come on out. Don't ruin the mood. Baek Yahi smiled, tears glistening in the corners of her eyes. I want to repay everyone. Give them a happy ending. Even if in that ending, I'm just a supporting character or even disappear completely, I'm willing to accept it, as long as everyone can be happy. For the gangster male lead, Seo Dokyum, that happy ending, the sign of a photo studio, stood on the street. Baek Yahi stood before a vanity, her reflection showing a complex expression. I never thought I'd be taking a family portrait in this lifetime. The system's notification sound chimed. Familial affection for supporting character Baek Yahi activated. Baek Yahi forced a smile. Although it's a good thing, something feels off. She put her hands on her hips. Don't tell me even a family portrait counts as a system reward. Her gaze darkened. My feelings for Seo Dokyum. That's definitely not. A voice called out Baek Yahi. Startled by the sound, Baek Yahi turned around. Seo Dokyum was adjusting his tie. Are you ready? Skyscrapers stood tall. Traffic flowed endlessly. Kim Jinchul walked into the chairman's office. We've successfully negotiated the terms you mentioned. Chairman Baek Yongju sat behind his desk, his eyes sharp. Is it about Seo-hyun? Kim Jinchul nodded in confirmation. Yes, the construction Seo-hyun was in charge of has withdrawn from the new headquarters project. He placed a document on the desk. Starting next month, the strategic planning team will form a task force to take over and advance the project. Baekgyu is Brau Furovet. Wait, something's not right. Seo-hyun agreed so easily. He questioned, did you get some dirt on him? Kim Jinchul was taken aback. No, sir. Baek Yongju slammed the table. Then go get some. Stop playing these corporate infighting games. Don't get complacent just because you snatched one project. His finger tapped heavily on the document. Use every means at your disposal. I don't care if you have to get blood on your hands. Baek Yongju's eyes were wide with anger. Your name is the face of this organization. You must bear this responsibility. By this time next year, we should be discussing a merger with the Shinwon Group. Kim Jinchul's smile froze. What? Isn't that meaningless? The Shinwon Group is already being used like a dog by father's faction. His cheek was struck hard. Chairman Baek Yongju roared. Watch your words. Just looking at your face reminds me of your mother. It's so unpleasant. I don't care if Chai Yilin is exiled or killed. But out of respect for the late team leader Chai, I only demoted her to your team. He rubbed his wrist. Don't disappoint me again. Find the core strength that can completely crush Seo-hyun's group. Kim Jinchul straightened his suit and bowed his head in acceptance. Yes, sir. I'll take my leave now. I remember the person in power at the Shinwon Group. The elevator doors opened. He came face to face with Chai Yilin. Impossible. Chai Yilin looked at his face, showing confusion. The photo studio was in chaos. Do-hyun grabbed his hair and yelled, "This is terrible." Brother, you think it's terrible too, right? Seo Dokyum stood with his hands behind his back, looking the same as usual. Just take the picture. Do-hyun stamped his foot. What do you mean the same? The stylist quickly bowed and apologized. I'm so sorry. We'll redo the young master's hair. Seo Dokyum raised a hand to stop them. No need to apologize excessively. There's still time. Please handle it well. The photographer clapped Seo Dokyum on the shoulder. Haha, eldest young master, you're so handsome. How about a solo shot? He suggested enthusiastically. We could hang it in our studio for display. We'll do it for free. Seo-hyun sat on the sofa with his legs crossed. Baek Yahi sat properly beside him. Seo-hyun said to Baek Yahi, from your perspective, taking a family portrait might be an awkward suggestion. Thank you for agreeing so quickly. Baek Yahi smiled in response. Not at all. I'm very grateful that you consider me family. I'm very happy. Seo-hyun said thoughtfully, after coming back from the seaside, is your body feeling better? The flash went off, and the shutter clicked. Seo Dokyum lay on his side on a sofa strewn with roses, his posture languid and alluring. The photographer snapped away. Baek Yahi waved her arms. I'm completely fine. Although I've barely slept since that day, my body is in great shape. Seo-hyun interrupted her. I'm not asking about your body. I'm asking if you're mentally okay. That trauma must have been very painful for you. The image of the truck accident flashed through Baek Yahi's mind. The truck incident. Did Seo Dokyum tell you about it? She forced herself to remain calm. Did Dokyum mention it? Don't worry, I've mostly moved on from it. Seo-hyun said, that was a long time ago. I heard about it from your mother. She was always smiling, as if everything was perfectly fine. He looked at the Baek Yahi before him. Do you want to reconsider the engagement with Dokyum? You are too precious. Beck Yahi was taken aback. Oh my, he's your son. You should be on his side. She mused, then I'll just formally bring it up. In order to have a happy ending with the female lead, the engagement must be broken. She spoke. Since we're on the topic, how was my engagement with Dokium decided in the first place? She clutched her clothes. If it was just to respect my parents' last wishes, then for Dokium's sake and mine, please break off the engagement. She quickly added, it's not that I dislike this family or anything. Seo Hyun looked at her calmly. You can see that engagement as my selfish decision. Beck Yahi gave a dry laugh. Ha, I see. She looked up abruptly. What did you just say? Seo Hyun's gaze was serene. Even before your parents made their will, this was what I hoped for. Your parents are my benefactors. His tone was firm. You are a responsibility I must bear. I hope to continue that precious bond through you and Dokium. This is purely my own selfish wish. Beck Yahi looked at Seo Hyun. What kind of connection did my parents have with this family? Hearing you say that, it seems you have something you want to tell me. Seo Hyun began to speak slowly. It happened when you were very young. That trauma you still can't completely forget. It all started with your mother. Her mother pushed a young Beck Yahi into a closet. She put her finger to her lips, signaling for her daughter to be quiet. Little Beck Yahi did as she was told, covering her own mouth. Beck Yahi's pupil shrank. Wait a minute. The Beck Yahi in the Gangster romance also experienced something similar. Seo Hyun spoke slowly. Your father was my dearest friend and a comrade in my organization. That day, because of his connection to me, he was kidnapped and threatened. You and your mother were also dragged into it. Their lives were used as bargaining chips. No one could remain rational in that situation. We were outnumbered. Beck Yahi's mother fell into a pool of blood, surrounded by several men. Beck Yahi's father was covered in wounds. He cried out, "Where's my daughter?" He grabbed a man's pant leg. Please, what do you want? What kind of compensation will it take for you to stop? A man in sunglasses looked down at him. Your wife hid your daughter. We're looking for her. And you bastard, dare to ask us what we want? Beck Yahi's father quickly begged, wait. We can talk. The man in the white suit sneered. What I want is very clear. That is my wife. Beck Yahi's mind went blank. Seo Hyun's voice continued. Your father voluntarily became a hostage. He wanted to stall for as much time as possible to ensure your family's safety. But I can't completely blame him. I would have done the same in his place. I had just returned from a business trip abroad when I learned of everything. Beck Yahi asked in a trembling voice, don't tell me. Seo Hyun looked up. Yes, my wife and your father passed away on the same day. For a long time after that, I wasn't myself. I turned my own organization upside down, indiscriminately hunting down rival groups. Beck Yahi became emotional. Then doesn't that make us mortal enemies? Seo Hyun lowered his head. Your father died trying to save my wife. And the one who saved Dokium's life that day was your mother. Beck Yahi was greatly shocked. Dokium's life? Don't tell me Dokium was also, back then? Seo Hyun interrupted her. Those are all past events that you can't remember clearly. What I want to tell you is that we all carry deep scars, and the only ones who can heal each other are ourselves. My wife would agree. She would never blame your parents. Beck Yahi's thoughts were in turmoil. Would he really forgive them? If it were me, I would resent it again and again. He endured all that pain just because of the love for his son. Beck Yahi's past, her entanglement in this gangster romance, is much heavier than I imagined. Seo Dokium strode over. What are you talking about? He stopped. Beck Yahi, your fever's gone down. Let's go. Beck Yahi was lost in thought. I don't have time to wait for all the mysteries to be solved. The most important task now is to bring about a happy ending. Even though I feel happy and safe, my relationship with Seo Dokium has become dangerous again. What exactly happened to Seo Dokium that day? How sad must he have been? Beck Yahi stood opposite Seo Dokium. How much distance should I keep? And how should I keep it? Seo Dokium sat on the edge of the bed. The situation is complicated. He dried his wet hair with a towel. But this feeling after so long isn't bad. Because Beck Yahi was there too. It's strange, I keep thinking about it. Seo Dokium clenched his hand. But I want Beck Yahi to be happy. He picked up his phone and dialed a number. A cold, automated voice came from the phone. The user you have dialed is currently unavailable. You will be transferred to voicemail. Please leave a message after the tone. Seo Dokium left a message into the phone. Whatever misunderstanding you have with my father, I won't forget what you've done. Think carefully. You were definitely in the wrong. Don't touch my family again. And don't touch Beck Yahi again. This is your last chance. Do Hyun peeked out from behind the sofa, waving with a smile. Wow, everyone is really dressed up today. The photographer's voice rang out. All right, I'm going to take the shot. Please look at the camera. A hand rested on Beck Yahi's shoulder. It was C.O. Dokium. Beck Yahi's body stiffened, her breath catching. C.O. Dokium's gaze was lowered. Stop overthinking. Look at the camera. Beck Yahi answered, okay. How long do I have to maintain this distance? And in what way? The photographer shouted 1, 2, 3. The shutter clicked crisply. The photo of the four of them was captured. The prologue of the gangster romance came to an end. My life returned to peace, as if nothing had ever happened. It was as if I had belonged to this world all along. Those endless missions, the suffocating threats, that all disappeared. Beck Yahi looked out the window. It was snowing. C.O. Dokium slapped the test paper on the table. Beck Yahi, grade this. Beck Yahi asked in astonishment. You've already finished it all? C.O. Dokium didn't look up. Yes. Beck Yahi's mouth fell slightly open. No way. C.O. Dokium's voice was flat. Look at it before you speak. The red pen moved across the test paper. Not a single answer was correct. Beck Yahi's brow furrowed. What exactly am I supposed to be looking at? C.O. Dokium looked smug. Didn't I fill it all out? Beck Yahi looked at him. With a brain like this, maybe he really is only suited to be a thug. She finally exploded. You call this solving problems? The door was suddenly pushed open. Dohayan waved with a smile. Brother, sister, let's go home. The sun is about to set. He put C.O. Dokium in a headlock. Brother, just give up on this life. Studying isn't for you. C.O. Dokium sighed. You're right. I'm a lost cause. You study hard for me. The setting sun dyed the sky red. The three of them walked down the road. Dohayan and Beck Yahi were eating taiyaki. C.O. Dokium walked silently beside them. Snowflakes fell on their shoulders. Dohayan took a bite of his taiyaki. He turned to Beck Yahi. Sister, are you a red bean person or a cream person? Beck Yahi held up her snack. The cream filling was clearly visible. She proudly declared, cream, of course. Dohayan exclaimed dramatically, you're actually a cream person. He scoffed, you have no taste. Beck Yahi retorted, not to be outdone, what does a little kid like you know? Dohayan suddenly leaned in close to Beck Yahi. He lowered his voice. Have you ever seen a little kid this big? C.O. Dokium pulled Dohayan away. Don't put your face so close. Dohayan backed away awkwardly. Got it. C.O. Dokium's gaze sharpened. He looked at Beck Yahi. Get ready when we get home. For the next week, you're going to master Krav Maga. Beck Yahi looked confused. What did you say? C.O. Dokium's voice was devoid of emotion. A practical self-defense system developed by the Israeli military. It specializes in weapon defense and escape. It's a truly extreme combat technique. Beck Yahi was stunned. He's so scary. She shoved the taiyaki into C.O. Dokium's mouth, right? C.O. Dokium bit down on the taiyaki. The number of times his heart has fluttered for Beck Yahi has cumulatively surpassed 999. C.O. Dokium suddenly turned around. It's too cold. Let's go. He strode away. Dohayan chased after him from behind. Hey, brother, don't run. Beck Yahi clutched the paper bag in her arms. C.O. Dokium's heartbeat just now. Was it because of me? If I had been able to calmly accept his inexplicable concern back then, if there wasn't the restriction of a happy ending, how would things be different? Why, of all people, is the male lead focused on me? C.O. Dokium stopped and turned back, urging Beck Yahi, hurry up and follow. Beck Yahi's thoughts drifted. I'll let myself sink, telling myself it's just a temporary lapse. He just hasn't met Un Seol yet. That's all. There isn't much time left. A lavish dinner filled the long table. C.O. Hien raised his glass. Our family has changed so much this year. Let's have a toast. Dohayan excitedly agreed. Yeah, to a perfect end to the year. Glass cups clinked together crisply. C.O. Hien smiled. It's all thanks to Yahi. These boys' grades have improved, and the house has become much brighter. Dohayan excitedly chimed in. Sister is the best. Beck Yahi's eyes curved into a smile. I'll be in your care in the future as well. Her gaze met C.O. Dokium's. She immediately waved her hands in a fluster. I'll work even harder. C.O. Dokium's gaze turned icy. She subconsciously avoided him. The atmosphere around him dropped, becoming dead silent. Obsession level increased by 1 point. Beck Yahi's body stiffened. Cold sweat trickled down. The obsession level went up again. It's been strange ever since I was discharged from the hospital. The Christmas dinner atmosphere is lively, but I feel a chill. At this rate, the obsession will be maxed out. How can it rise faster than the favorability rating? C.O. Dokium's obsession did protect me, but from now on, I have to lower it. His developing unnecessary feelings for a side character will interfere with happiness. Ending. Under the table, Beck Yahi's toes tapped restlessly. Before the main storyline begins, I have to resolve this bit by bit. She lifted her head, a perfect smile on her face. I'm the one who should be thanking you. Thanks to you, Uncle Seo Hyun, for taking me in. I haven't been lonely at all these past 6 months. Do Hyun asked, confused, Sister, why are you suddenly getting sentimental? You're not a guest anymore. You're our family. Seo Dokyum propped his chin on his hand, listening. Beck Yahi laughed out loud, her cheeks flushing. You're the one being cheesy. This party was really fun. Night enveloped the mansion. Snowflakes fell quietly. Beck Yahi lay on the floor. This feels like a secret farewell party. It's so sad. After the new semester starts, I must do everything I can to help Eun Seol. But luckily, advancing the plot shouldn't be difficult. I still remember parts of the story from Eun Seol's perspective. A beach at sunset, the shadows of a couple holding hands. As long as I recall the moments when Seo Dokyum's violent tendencies subsided, I can guide them toward this ending. Dokyum grabbed Eun Seol's arm. Eun Seol cried out in pain, it hurts. A beach at sunset. Dokyum clutched his head with both hands, roaring in anguish. Damn it, I hurt you again. Aren't you afraid of me like this? Don't you hate me? Please, just leave me alone and let me self-destruct. Eun Seol watched him quietly, her gaze unwavering. Her voice was calm and firm. I can't do that, because I like you. You're like a stray kitten with its fur standing on end. Dot hissing. A stray kitten. Dokyum was stunned. Kitten? Eun Seol's hand gently rested on his shoulder. Maybe I can't fully understand everything you've been through, but even so, I still want to be by your side. Dokyum's cheek was bruised. Why? Eun Seol's head rested on his shoulder. The two of them watched the sunset sink into the sea. I don't know either. Maybe it's an irresistible force. Beck Yahi lay on her bed. To make those two end up together, besides an irresistible force, is there anything else needed? Love is so difficult. Regardless, as long as they can be happy, I should prepare to leave by then. Although I'm still not sure if witnessing the ending. That will let me go back. She picked up her phone. I have to find a way to survive first. I should find a part-time job next year. Seo Dokyum leaned against the doorframe. The door was open. What are you doing? Beck Yahi sat up with a start. What did you get here? Seo Dokyum's voice was flat. Just now. It's so late. She was completely unprepared. Let's start the Krav Maga training right now. No dilas. Beck Yahi shouted. I'll throw up everything I just ate. The phone slipped from her hand and hit the floor. Seo Dokyum walked closer, so clumsy. Beck Yahi hurriedly reached out. I'll get it. Seo Dokyum bent down and picked up the phone before she could. He looked at the phone screen. Anything to look forward to next year? Beck Yahi fell silent. Right, why hide it? Surprising him then will only make it worse. It's better to let him know in advance. Her expression was calm. It's nothing major. I just plan to move out after I become an adult, so I was thinking of starting to prepare next year. Seo Dokyum's pupils contracted sharply. He gripped the phone tightly. What did you say? Is my father forcing you to leave? Beck Yahi shook her head. It's my own idea. After all, I should be independent once I'm an adult. She forced a smile, so I don't plan to drag it out any longer. I'll be leaving around this time next year. Seo Dokyum's hand suddenly grabbed her shoulder. Beck Yahi flinched. Seo Dokyum leaned in close. We just became a family, yet you're already planning to leave on your own. Starting to plan this early. Is there something making you uncomfortable right now? Beck Yahi tried to break free from his hand. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm just saying I'll leave when the time comes. Seo Dokyum's eyes were cold. I don't believe it. Even if you're the one saying it, I don't believe a single word right now. Beck Yahi grabbed his arm. I'm the one who should be asking. It wouldn't matter if someone like me disappeared, so why are you reacting so strongly? Seo Dokyum roared. When your life was hanging by a thread, our whole family watched over you, terrified of losing you. I'd rather you honestly say you're tired of all this. At least then, I could find a way to fix it. But I hate that you're hiding your feelings and planning to run away alone. Beck Yahi looked up at him. That sounds really strange. Seo Dokyum leaned in closer. It's not strange, because we're getting engaged. A red alert flashed before Beck Yahi's eyes. Warning, sudden event triggered. Seo Dokyum's face was inches away. So talk to me. He whispered in Beck Yahi's ear so that I can fix it. Beck Yahi forced herself to calm down. He's too close. She slowly began to speak. I like gentle people, but you're too scary sometimes. Seo Dokyum's expression froze. A red alert popped up. Warning, Seo Dokyum's abnormal state is subsiding.